All right, we're live. Go ahead, Ian. Okay, welcome everybody once again. This is our little soiree, conspiracy or not, here we come. I'm Aaron. I'm with my pal Ian and Amy as usual. And look, we got almost a full house. We have returning guest Rich Vanclaren and someone I've been wanting to talk to for a long time. We have a Henry from Death to Life channel. How are you guys doing? And hi, Amy and Ian. And how's everybody doing?
Howdy.
Hey, Rich. Hey, Henry. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Amy. How you doing, everybody?
What's up, full house?
Fine to be here.
Awesome.
Full house.
Yeah, this is awesome. I'm really excited to have Henry with us, and I'm very glad that Rich is back. We had him on several weeks ago, and there was some issue, and we didn't actually get to do a full show. So I'm glad to be welcoming Rich back. Today is Friday, October 20th, 2017. For those of you like the numerology and the gematria, today is 10-20-10. So the 2017 is another, add those numbers together, you get a 10. Today is 10-20-10. So how's everybody doing, man? Just I've already asked that, but let's say hello again, because I've got some shit to throw at you guys today, man.
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. It's been raining like crazy up here in Victoria, Canada. So,
Wow.
at least we don't have big fires anymore. Not like California.
So
Yeah,
Henry,
I know, that's where I'm at. The fires are here. It's right by my house.
Yeah.
are they? Henry, have you been out to like have a look at those? Because we're going to talk about those in a few minutes.
Yeah. So I had a job over here in Riverside, and I was driving down the 71 to the 91, and it was like right there as it was happening. And I kind of took some photo. I was gonna do a vlog on it, but nothing too serious. I had some jobs I needed to do out there with some security cameras, because one of these guys, because I do IT work, you guys know that, and I was supposed to set up some surveillance cameras because his house was on fire, and he wanted to figure out how to way to stream it live, just in case something's going down. So I have a job out there. Yeah.
So Rich,
Yes, sir.
you had requested that Henry would join us. So
Yes, I did, because it's cool for one.
yeah, go ahead. Tell me. I'm curious. I guess you've got a relationship or a past.
Well, no, I just follow his channel, and I leave little lewd remarks, and he replies. About it, huh, Henry?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm always like that too. So I'm always like, if anybody wants to comment in the comment section, I kind of want to reply back with something, or engage with the subscribers. So.
But how many do you have, Henry? You have thousands.
Oh man, it's wiped out now.
Yeah, you were up to what, 8,000?
Yeah, 8,000, and they took me out.
Yeah.
I know you, Aaron. You were up to like almost close to 2,000-3,000, and they kind of took you guys out.
Well,
and
my channel is still alive. It's hanging on by a thread. I'm at 1,400 and something subs right now. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
I have almost a dozen.
Did you follow suit? Hey, Aaron, did you follow suit? What we talked about?
Oh, well, about what? Deleting or
yeah.
Shutting all my videos down.
Yeah.
I started going back and deleting some of the older videos, and I still have work to do on that.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. But I should have listened to you when I had that 8,000 subs, and then remember I made that video and I told you guys, oh, I'm gonna put it to private, and oh yeah, that's not gonna get me in trouble, you guys. You know, sure enough, like days later, they got me on that third strike, and it took me out. So.
Well, I left you that comment because Robin from How I See the World had already been through it and experienced it. And then, during that whole, week or month-long debacle where people were getting struck left and right and everybody was getting demonetized, when all that stuff was going down, I started noticing several videos from a lot of some big channels that were saying things like YouTube struck a video that was 2 years old. In fact, I saw 2 or 3 different channels. PD for Truth, High Impact Flicks, and who else? Actually, it was Sean from SGT Report.
Oh, yeah.
Sean got struck for an interview he did with Sophia Smallstorm that was 2 years old. High Impact Flicks got struck on a 2-year-old video. And you know what they all had in common? Sandy Hook.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were going back, man. The algorithms were doing their job. They were going back through everybody's old videos and putting that shit on private. It just was not enough to do it.
Yeah, definitely. They got me on a Sandy Hook one too when I exposed those kids.
Yeah, so
how they were just coached and everything, and
yeah. So anybody listening, if you're worried about your channel, putting your videos on private does absolutely nothing to protect you. The thing to do is to literally delete the video off of your channel. Obviously, you want to back it up if it's not already on your computer. You want to, download it and have it so you can re-upload it sometime in the future, or, change it and re-upload it, But putting your video on private just doesn't work.
No.
I think I'll be putting my videos up on Henry's channel when he gets it up. Is that going up, Henry, sometime?
Yep, that is. We are actually still in the process right now. The ISPs came and installed the static IP address. When you guys run servers and stuff like that, you're gonna know like Apache servers. You're gonna know like Windows Server. So that's all geared up, getting ready. So the next thing we need to do is just install the scripts, and the scripts is almost here. You know what I mean? So once we have that, man, it's full reign. And then I know Amy said it needs to be, it needs to be locked down. It needs to be secure. And that's what we're working on right now is securing it, locking it down, and getting all the legal stuff and legal fees out of the way. So just in case something happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I hit 2,000 subs. I'm at 2,027 now.
I just checked. I'm at 762. Woohoo!
How many? Definitely. 2,000 and how many?
2,027.
Nice.
Oh, I'm catching you, bro. I'm catching you. I was like 700 behind you not long ago. You and I have been floating along for a long time, and you were literally double what I had, and that lasted for months and months, and now I'm starting to catch up. So cool. Okay. So listen, you guys, I usually like to, throw out some like news articles and things that come across my way throughout the week that I think are worth, pissing people off. And boy, have I got a few things that are probably going to piss some people off. This article, and I don't have it open right now. Maybe I'll pull it up and we could read a little bit of it. And we may not even need to. The title, the headline is probably going to be enough. This article was actually sent to me by my mom. Many of you who listen know that my mom is a fan and listener. She sent me this article the other day. Deaf and blind patrons must be able to go to the movies. You guys heard about that one?
Again, I'm sorry, I was distracted.
Deaf and blind people, patrons. I'm going to see if I can get this article up.
Here, I've got it right here. If you want, I'll screen share.
Yeah, you guys are way faster than me. My computer just isn't that fast, so I appreciate that. So yeah, deaf and blind patrons, and by all means, screen share, Ian. Deaf and blind patrons must be able to go to the movies. I mean, are things not fucking crazy enough?
Yeah. Wow.
They are crazy enough.
You know, just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, what is this? Federal disability law requires movie theaters to provide specialized interpreters to patrons who are deaf and blind. Are you kidding me?
So they're going to sit in there and
That's
talk
ridiculous.
while the movie's going on?
This is just a burden on small business.
Yeah.
That's all this is designed to do. It's like every time they change something, just like the whole transgender thing, the whole bathroom thing, it's like now we got to have 3 bathrooms. I don't care how big or small you are. You know what I mean? If you're a restaurant, you got to have 3 bathrooms. And so now you got to fucking remodel and get a plumber. And are you kidding me?
It's insane. They're
Yeah,
really
I'm going to start
trying
titling. I'm sorry, Amy, go ahead.
I was just going to say thumb screws.
Thumb screws?
Thumb screws on society, yes.
Yeah, thumb screws. I'm going to start titling the first 30 minutes of this show, News of the Insane.
There you go.
Yeah, really.
So, I mean, anybody want to pipe up with, you know, their irritation over this whole idea, feel free. Otherwise, I'll move along here.
Not me, I'm stunned.
I mean, the easiest, simple way to solve that is just give them a headset, right? If they're blind,
Yeah.
and they want to have someone talk the movie for them, which is weird because the movie's already playing.
That's right. That's right.
You know, it's like,
Well, yeah,
so that's kind of weird in itself. So.
Why don't they put subtitles in and then maybe have a little corner where somebody does sign language?
Still kind of weird at the movie.
Well, what they could do is they could give a deaf person a remote subtitle screen, you know, like a little notepad or something, right?
Yeah.
So they could just keep, and they could just hold it and they could read, right?
There you go.
Or,
Exactly.
you know, instead of
There's
having
better-
nobody wants subtitles on the movie screen. You know, it's kind of annoying, right?
Unless it's in a foreign language, in which case they might want some
10 times
subtitles.
more annoying, yeah. But
Nobody
you know
wants
what I mean? Give
somebody
them a notepad
standing-
and say, here, you
standing
know,
here.
you can read along as it goes. And they
You
can
know,
watch it on the little notepad.
The blind, I don't get it. You know, what are you? The guy is walking down the street now. He's turning a corner. You know what? What do they want? It's like, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. I
Well,
can't imagine how they would accommodate a blind person in a movie theater. I mean, I've never seen a blind person.
Yeah, what a concept. I mean, just try. I can't think it through. You know,
I think Henry said something earlier about a headset that actually could work, because have you ever seen the subtitles where they have crowd laughs? He turns suddenly towards, you know, and they sort of illustrate what's going on.
Yeah, you could have
They
closed
could have
captions.
that with speech back, you know. Oh, he turns quickly and then says something. You know what I mean? They could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now the only thing is where does this cost go? The cost is going to go to the masses, is what it is.
To the taxpayers.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right. That's right.
Well, they love to spend money anyway. They'll spend it in any other way anyway.
It's true.
They love to spend money.
So now instead of $20 per ticket, it's going to be $25, $30 just to go sit down and watch a movie.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah, you got to
pay for the deaf and the blind?
Well, yeah, they pass the savings on to you, man. That's how it always works, isn't it?
Oh, you mean they get to go to the movies free?
Well, no.
Wait, no. Okay.
Okay, I have
Everybody just pretend they're blind or deaf.
I'm going to have to open another tab here, and it's going to take me a second, but there's something I want to show you guys. As everybody knows, we just recently had Hurricane Harvey come through, and you know, recently just devastated Houston, right? Everybody knows all about Hurricane Harvey.
Was that
now,
the third one, or
I'm sorry, what?
was that the third one?
No, I'm talking about the hurricane that just blasted Houston a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, the one that dumped gazillions of gallons of water and flooded the universe. You know, that
Yeah.
that little event.
That
All right. Cynthia McKinney sent out a tweet the other day. And in her tweet, she had a snapshot or a screen capture of a section of the application form for people who need relief funds to, you know, rebuild their freaking house because their house is destroyed. And in it, and I'm almost there, I'm working on getting this up and so I can screen share. This is shocking, man. If this don't piss some people off, you guys are just freaking numb. Okay, now I got this from Truth Stream Media. This is their most recent upload. And I'm going to screen share a moment or two in this video where, first of all, McKinney asks, is this a real thing? And then Melissa from Truth Stream Media, she went and she looked it up and they did some research and it turns out it is a real thing. And here's the thing, you guys, you haven't heard this. Listen, here's the thing. The application, there's a clause, number 11, and I'm almost there. Sorry, my computer's slow. Clause number 11. All right, I'm ready to screen share. Before I say it, I got to screen share this. You've got to see this. I mean, you're just not going to believe me if you don't see this. All right, should be sharing. You guys let me know.
Yep.
Okay. So this is True Stream Media. This is their most recent upload. I need to jump to 2 minutes and 53 seconds. 3 minutes. I think there it's about right. There it is. This is clause number 11. Verification not to boycott Israel. By executing this agreement below, the applicant verifies that the applicant, 1, does not boycott Israel, and 2, will not boycott Israel during the term of this agreement.
That's sick.
Oh my gosh! You know, it's none of their. It's so Nazi-esque.
Yeah, totally.
That's gotta be the best ever.
And notice it's clause 11.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yes, I picked up on that right away. Clause 11.
Man, oh man, what fucking business does Israel have? What does Israel, look, Melissa, she makes a good point in this video. She says, look, just replace Israel with any other country in the world. France, Australia. Yeah. What does France have to do with hurricane relief funding in America? What does Israel have to do?
Yeah. Ethiopia.
What does any foreign country... I mean,
you know, really.
And it's not really a foreign country, though, is it? It's not really a foreign country. No, it's almost like another state, isn't it?
Yes.
It really is. I mean, you guys give what, 10 billion a year now? They've upped it or something?
That's probably just how much they increased it this year.
Yeah, well, it's up to nearly 10 billion.
I don't know what we give Israel every year. It's dozens of billions of dollars. It's disgusting.
It's planes, and rockets and nukes and
They might as well add. They might as well add to the clause and say you can't talk about 9/11. You can't say anything about Boston bombing. You can't
have a YouTube channel.
You can't have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's like so much for free will, huh?
Rich, what were you going to say, Rich?
Oh, I was going to say that we, the United States, are a state of Israel.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you look at the Congress and what? How many percentage is it? It's quite a high percentage are dual Israeli citizens.
Okay, so a little bit further along, they actually make a phone call. It says here, listen to this level of awkward hesitation at the realization of what he's referencing. So basically, this is a a little text insert that they added while they're playing the audio recording of Aaron Dykes actually calling. I forget what office he called to get verification or clarification on this application. But if anybody's interested, go watch this video. It's pretty eye-opening. I'm just going to skip forward here a little bit because they also highlight. Okay, so here's Melissa replying to Cynthia. It's real, all right. I just downloaded it from the official City of Dickinson's website. And then Cynthia replies, in order to serve in Congress, one has to love Israel before you're allowed to love the USA.
Yep.
So here we go. A little bit further. I'm 5 minutes and 45 seconds into their video. Here's an image of Governor Abbott signing into law the anti-Israel, the anti-BDS, the boycott, divestment, and sanction law, which I don't know how many, 20, 30 governors have already signed and agreed upon. It's disgusting. It's overwhelming. And by the way, look at the placement of the flags. Which one's in the middle?
Not ours.
Yes. Well, none of them are mine, but you know, I don't consent to top-down control mind, and this is my planet, and I am sovereign upon my planet. It's your planet too, but you got to claim it if you want it.
So this image here is Governor Abbott proudly signing the anti-BDS legislation into law. So how do you, as a governor, how do you enforce that? Well, guess what? This is how. Right there.
Through the clause, yeah.
This is how. Oh, your house got destroyed? I'm sorry, we can't give you any of our federal dollars because we don't know if you're boycotting Israel or not. And by the way, how do you prove a negative?
Yeah.
How do you prove that you're not boichotting Israel?
You didn't go out and buy an Israeli product this month.
Yeah.
You must be boycotting
So how do you know which is Israel and which is not? You know.
What I mean, how do you verify that? How do you verify?
Oh, this is sad. This is Stasi.
You know, there's a lot of products that not sure that have some kind of tax connected to them that pay Israel, that somehow they collect a few cents from each product. You know, and I can't put my I don't, do you know what I'm talking about? It's on most foods, and so if you're buying any of those foods, you're not boycotting Israel, right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Actually, I don't.
Okay, well, there is a tax. There is. Oh, I know what it is. It's a kosher tax.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
And,
That's really not kosher.
That's not too kosher, is it?
No.
So any buying any one of those products, and I think they're all, you know, I'm just kind of blowing it out my ass right now, but this is something that, you know, since you're talking about this, that anybody who buys those products wouldn't be boycotting Israel, right?
This is ultimately what this boils down to, is an anti-freedom of speech clause that would prevent you from getting federal dollars that are specifically set aside to help you in the event of a natural disaster like Hurricane Harvey. Because, I mean, if you want to boycott any country, France, Uganda, oh, I don't know, Israel, you want to boycott Israel, what does that mean? It means you're not going to buy their products. I'm not going to buy their hummus.
Right.
So what does rebuilding my house with federal tax dollars that are specifically designed and set aside for this purpose, how does my freedom of speech interfere with you paying me the federal dollars that are specifically designed for me and my destroyed home due to a natural disaster? This is free speech. This is another encroachment on free speech. Because if I want to boycott Israel or anybody, it's my
choice.
It's my freaking right to speak out. It's my right to not buy their hummus.
It's your freedom.
And it's my fucking tax dollars. All of our tax dollars go to pay the federal budget, which is where the money comes from when they put money aside for hurricane relief. It's our money.
Yeah. So you're saying did TrueStream Media, did they call?
Yeah.
Did they call these? They did in this one? I'll check it out.
Yeah, they called the city of Dickinson, which
so then what happened?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, so then what happened?
Well, do you want me to play it?
Yeah, just
give me a second. I'll try to find where they start, and then I'll unmute it, and I'll hopefully the audio will come through here. Give me a second to try to find it. Bear with me. Here we go. City of Dickinson. Okay, here it is. 406. Let me back up just a few seconds. I'm going to turn my volume up, and hopefully this comes through on my microphone here. About that.
Well, basically, I was reading over it, and it all looks reasonable. And except for number 11, I don't understand at all.
Number 11? There's numbers on it?
Yes, ma'am. It's got a requirement that in order to get relief and rebuilding money.
Okay, you're talking about the agreement. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Verification. Oh. That's something with I'm gonna let you talk to
oh man. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, holy Toledo.
And so, yeah, they were immediately transferred to a voicemail. Thank you very much.
Oh my Lord.
So, yeah, there it is. TrueStream Media, you won't believe why they could withhold relief funds from Harvey victims.
Wow. Dump that link in the chat. Yeah.
All right. Pretty outrageous, eh?
That is beyond the pale. Seriously.
Let me stop my screen share. Okay.
Seriously beyond the pale.
That's just sad.
All right, there's the link. So there it is, the news of the insane. How's everybody doing this week? Oh, I got something else for you that might blow your socks off. The Boy Scouts are now allowing girls.
Yeah.
Yep.
They push
Heard that.
Yep.
How about this one?
More gender blending going on.
That's fucking insane right there. There's already a Girl Scouts.
I know. It's and then people that are advocating for it say, well, we shouldn't be so divisive and everything. It's like, no, these people came out of nowhere and said, we want to allow girls in here out of nowhere. Okay?
No, it started years and years
and
and years ago.
You feel bad if you don't agree with that.
You know, Ian, this started a decade or two ago, maybe longer. Do you remember a long time ago, there was the occasional story would pop up in the news that some girl wanted to join the high school football team or some shit?
Yep.
Right.
So this has been building up.
Yeah.
So now they want to allow girls in the Boy Scouts. Oh, are you going to allow boys in the Girl Scouts? Of course they are.
That's my question.
Yep. The gay scouts.
And
I
people
love
say,
it.
oh, well, we're supposed to get beyond all these prejudices, and we're supposed to be more open society now. Who said we're supposed to be a more open society now?
The commies.
The commies. That's right, Rich. Exactly. The commies.
You know what I mean, though? Like, there's really no argument in that. It's because no matter what, they won't be able to tell you who is pushing the agenda, which we know who's pushing the agenda, right?
Yep.
And if you don't accept it, you're a mean, bigoted prick.
That's right.
Yep.
No, I don't accept it. I am a mean, bigoted prick. So
Or homophobe. You're a
I'll settle
homophobe.
for
You'll get labeled no matter what.
So that's it. So I wonder if just being a mean, bigoted prick is a crime. I mean, you know, it's like,
Well, it is to liberals. You should be locked away and sent to an island or burned at the stake.
All right. Well, back to the infringement, encroachment on free speech. The UK police arrest 9 people per day for offensive online comments.
wow.
The UK arrested 3,395 people in 1 year. 3,395 people in 1 year for online offensive online comments.
Offensive, according to.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah,
that
according
just,
to the Ministry of Truth, right?
you know that chaps my tail end, right? And you know why? Because the person who is offended is the one choosing to be offended. They have control over how they feel.
That's right.
I don't control how they feel. They can think about my comment in a way that offends them, or they can change the way they are thinking about it, and they will feel differently about it.
They can shrug it off.
Exactly. They can go, ha, what a joke.
That's right. Your reaction.
What a ding dong.
That's right, Amy. And that cuts to the chase of this whole social justice warrior. I've been triggered. This whole freaking idea that, oh, you triggered me, and so it's okay for me to punch you in the face.
No.
I'm completely justified in smashing you in the face, breaking your nose, breaking your jaw, whatever. You know, physical violence is okay because you said something that was so triggering to me that I just couldn't control myself. So,
and that's totally BS. You know,
Well, of course it is.
You know, it's like, no, you triggered yourself. Go sit in the corner and think about some other way to think about this, or think about kittens. You'll feel much better.
Yeah, go watch another cat video. Anybody else want to pipe up? Because I got one more head scratcher.
Go for it.
John McCain is awarded the Medal of Liberty.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, barf me out.
Mr. Bomb Iran was just awarded the Medal of Liberty.
Oh.
Holy, I mean, they're
gonna die.
Mocking
He's gonna die,
us.
so
They're
trying to get
mocking us.
But who gave it to him?
Well, he's gonna die soon, isn't he? He's got cancer or something.
Oh, that's right. That's
No, he's a useful idiot. They'll fix his ass just like they did Jimmy Carter. You remember Jimmy Carter, 180 years old. He gets some kind of horrible cancer, and then 2 months later, he's fine. His hair is good. He's fine. He's back working, running around the world, jet setting. I mean, 80-some-year-old Jimmy Carter gets some kind of horrible cancer. Was it brain cancer? I don't remember. Does anybody remember?
I don't know.
No.
I do remember a weird conspiracy, though, that Jimmy Carter was JFK.
I'm not even going to do that shit. No. You want to have Dallas Goldbug on here, I'll skip that show.
No, I'll pass. I'll pass.
Okay. All right, you guys. One more thing I want to talk about before we get into the Vegas thing, and I'm going to need to open up another tab and share a window again. The California wildfires. I want to talk to Henry since he lives out there and get his take on what he thinks. And by the way, Henry, have you been like going around and checking out the damage and the fires and maybe taking some video?
No, I want to, but I've been pretty busy right here just getting this stuff for the servers and stuff up. But I do want to go out there. I do have a drone. I do want to fly it out there. I think it's Amazing Grace or something. It's a Grace or something. She's been doing some catching some good footage out there.
In Truth by Grace?
Oh, yeah, Truth by, there you go. Yeah, her, and she's been doing some real good digging in there. And finding out like it's, you know, they're using either like energy weapons or something that is military grade. that is not burning, bushes right around the home, but it's just destroying business and homes like to the like dust. So I do want to go out
I don't
there.
know, like how is
Sounds
this
9/11-ish, doesn't it?
how is this worse than any other fire though? Like is this just like much more intense than any other fire they've had in California in recent history?
Not really. We had a fire from the Cajon Pass, which was like the 15 freeway that met up with the Foothills fires, and that was the biggest fire. It stretched for like, I mean, hundreds of miles like apart. That was the biggest fire. For this one here, it hit a lot of rich people's homes, like Anaheim Hills and things like that, and Orange County. The only reason why yeah, go ahead.
I wish somebody mentioned in the chat, I wish they could steer the fire right through Bohemian Grove.
Yes. I
Burn
think
that owl to the
that's a
ground.
plan.
Burn that owl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, go on. Sorry, I didn't mean.
Yeah, so maybe it'll be like a good trip if I can head out there and then just do some recon. That'll be pretty cool, but we'll see.
Well, you better get that drone up in the air. If you got a drone, we need to see some aerial footage like I'm showing you right here. Am I sharing, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. So this is from the Outer Light channel. And this first image showing here, I mean, does that not look funny to you?
Yes.
That look a little suspicious?
What's with it?
Well, take a look. I mean, you've got
I see it. I can see it's collapsed and really no damage around it.
yeah,
Right?
but parking lots all around with green trees and everything, and this one building is,
Two.
or yeah,
The red one in the distance, that's an Arby's, I think.
okay. This one little section is all.
This is fucking arson, dude. This is not wildfire.
Are
No,
they claiming
that-
it's wildfire? Are they claiming it's wildfire?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, I did read an article earlier today about they think the arsonist is an illegal immigrant.
Well, I like.
That could be just right-wing propaganda, right?
Yeah,
Actually, could be.
I seriously doubt that. Yeah, well, what really intrigues me is, having grown up in California, yeah, we'd get a wildfire every so often, but I have never seen the number of wildfires all at once.
Now, please bear in mind, guys, here in BC, Canada, like, we had the worst fires in a long time here this year, too. So this isn't out of the ordinary to me. Like, it's a big,
Yeah, I'm going to say that recently they have tested out in the soils, along with their nanoparticulates of aluminum, strontium, and barium, they have been finding titanium. Now, titanium burns easily and very hotly. And so if they are spraying us with titanium and then setting fires to things, they are going to be touted as the worst ever because they've got so much more fuel.
I have
plus
always
the chemtrail layer is trapping the heat in too. So
I have always been suspicious of wildfires years before I was into any research, into any conspiracies. I've always been suspicious of wildfires.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
I could do whatever you're doing.
I don't know if after a thunderstorm, I can see, I have seen enough evidence to suggest that a lightning strike on a previously very dry set of foliage could indeed ignite.
Oh, it does.
Fire.
It does ignite fires. This is a real thing. I'm not denying that at all.
So, well, what's suspicious about it then?
Well, several things. First thought that I had, and this is probably close to 2 decades ago or more. Way, way, way before 9/11, before I was into any of this stuff. And California and the West, they would have yearly wildfires, and the wildfires would roar out of control, and it would be all over the news and all this damage. And then they would tally up. They would tell you, oh, this many billions of dollars of damage this year. And then the next year would roll around $2 billion of damage and $5 billion of damage. And even as a teenager, just a thinking person, not even into conspiracies at all, I just thought, you know, as wealthy as this country is, you would think that if they were really concerned about $10 billion worth of damage every stinking year, you would think that they would put some money aside. You would think that maybe we would have a gigantic fleet of aircraft that mothball all year long until fire season, hundreds of water-carrying planes, helicopters, and whatever, and that they could literally pound that firewall, which is a line, by the way. When a fire spreads, it's a line.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think that a fleet of just, you know, you see the footage of the news where one plane will come in, swoop in, and drop the retardant or water, and then that's it for the footage. There's no follow-up plane. There's no one behind him. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
Imagine plane after plane after plane after plane, bang, 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 just a line of planes. They could put that fire out in a matter of hours.
True.
If they wanted to. And if they spent $10 billion, I thought, how much money would it cost to have 100 or 200 airplanes sitting, waiting, with pilots on standby, even on the payroll if necessary?
Yep.
Would that cost $10 billion?
Probably not.
No. And over the course of many years, they would be useful. So if you spread it out, 10 billion this year, 10 billion next year, 10 billion in losses this year, 10 billion in losses, how much money could we save? How much lives and property could we save? Using just a tiny bit of fucking logic.
Well, we all know that the
we know logic doesn't rule the day.
Is not there for us. It's there to profit them. And they probably have investments in things that rebuild burnt things. Right?
That's right. Yep. We know. Yep. You're right, Amy. You're right. I know, and you're right. But I mean, I was just a teenager, and I'm thinking to myself, look, if they really wanted to solve this problem, they could.
Yep.
And it wouldn't take that much. I mean, it wouldn't take. I wasn't even, you know, like conspiracy minded at that time, right?
Right.
I'm just thinking as a damn teenager, for Christ's sake, they could solve this problem.
I mean, but now. But yeah,
go ahead, Henry.
But now, like now we look back at as a conspiracy person or a person that is skeptical, we see that, you know, that is a possibility that they've been causing all these fires, and it has. We later on in the report we find out someone did deliberately set this on, you know, set the fire. You know what I mean? And like how easy it for us for them just to hire a crisis actor. Hey man, go set this fire off, and you know, during, you know, real windy days or whatever it is. And it's the Psyop on California is what it is. It's been happening for decades and decades for California to destroy us. Same thing as through chemtrails that they've been blanketing us with, like over all these years to cause this drought that we're having. You know, it's a Psyop for California as the same Psyop for the the East Coast. It's the same Psyop.
And how beautifully does this idea of a conspiracy that they're setting fires, how beautifully does that work and play right into their agenda of 2030, the 2020?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
because California is leading the way in the whole world in sanctuary cities.
10 to 21, yeah, we are.
Right. They're pushing people out of the you know, the rural areas, and they're trying to push people into the suburbs. And if you're one of those people who live out in the rural areas, you're subject to forest fires, wildfires, brush fires.
That's right. Yeah. And Aaron, it's creepy you say that, because that's exactly what's happening in BC. They've already implemented Agenda 21 tactics. Most of the small communities throughout the interior BC are all destitute now. There's hardly any shops. They're all moving into the inner cities, and now they had that huge fire which took out a lot of smaller communities throughout BC. So yeah,
And most people don't make it back.
No, so
No.
yeah,
that's right.
question
With the
about
Fort
Go
McMurray
ahead.
fire, a whole lot of people did not go back.
Go ahead, Rich.
No, that was really kind of the answer to my question. Is it they're not permitted back, or
They just don't want to.
They can't get back. They may not have insurance. They may not be interested in going home and rebuilding their house from scratch.
Right.
Yep.
And I know somebody who had to move from Fort McMurray, the big fire they had there a year or two ago, and she moved to BC, and she just didn't want to go back because of the nightmare of it all, because of the memories that she had.
That's so crazy, because you guys talk about how it's like tying to Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, and and my city. I don't know if you guys are in like a major city, but my city is coming like what is it called? A mega city, where they're building these skyscraper homes now. They're like 3-4 story high. Yeah, it's like 3-4 story high. We're getting all these metro trains coming in now. And it's like all these hospitals are coming into our city, and we're like, man, what is going on? But
Henry,
we could, yes.
You watch Grindal 61's channel?
No.
Oh, you definitely. You're in California, right? You definitely need to sub to Grindal 61.
Grindall, yeah.
Grindal, whatever you want. Yeah, Grindal 61.
Here, yeah, I see it here.
Yeah, you definitely need to. He goes to all of the city council meetings and exposing the sanctuary cities and the toll lanes are putting in, the Agenda 21 that they're doing. He goes in, and a bunch of his buddies and stuff, they all film videos of that.
To be clear, and his name escapes me. Gary. His name is Gary.
Gary.
He's very politically active. He's not conspiracy minded per se.
No.
He's all about Trump. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
he's stuck in the paradigm. Yeah.
So just be aware. He's very politically active, and he's doing great work. Okay. On one end, he's doing great work, but on the other end, he's totally still stuck in the Trump, the left-right paradigm. You know.
Right.
He
doesn't quite grasp yet that it's a corporation and we don't have any say.
Yeah. Okay, so just one.
That is a sad part, though. I really wish like people could really realize and see there is no left right, like you said, Amy. So man,
there is no government really. The government is run by a shadow government that's way above any local government at all.
Yes.
Okay, so before I move on, we've talked about this before. At least I know that I have, and I've mentioned the channel Changing Reason, who put out a great video a while back before he disappeared off of YouTube. His video was all about the number 42. And he said, anytime you see the number 42, and he must have gave 25 or 30 examples of news articles in that video. It was overwhelming. So anytime I see the number 42, and I'm still sharing, I hope, you guys see it right there in the first paragraph.
42 people.
The blaze has killed 42 people. So, I mean, you know, you never know what to freaking believe anymore. So I'm just going to, real quick, I want to jump through this video. And again, this is the Outer Light, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, the Outer Light channel. There's a couple of images in here that I just want to highlight real quick before we move on. And let me get my other notes because I've got timestamps written down. Let me see. Right here at 1 minute. Okay, I was already there. The next one is about 3 minutes. Some drone footage of this particular area that he shows. And then from 3 minutes, I'm just going to let this play. There's no need for any audio, but just watch this video here. This is somebody flying their drone around this particular parking lot. As you can see, it's nothing but concrete. Now, we know that fire out in the wilderness, when it's grassy and dry, fire does jump, but not in rural, in urban settings when there's nothing but concrete and streets.
Yes.
Parking lots and roadways. I mean, look at that. Those two buildings right there. There's no excuse for those two buildings to have caught on fire.
With zero anything else damaged. Yeah, that.
Now he does drop this image into Photoshop, so he can examine the still shot. On the bottom of the screen, you can see that the grass next to the roadway, there's an arrow on the street, the very, very bottom. You can see the scorched grass. But that still, by the way, I've had grass fires in my yard. They're only about 3 or 4 inches tall. They creep along, and they usually don't burn anything else unless they find a good fuel source. A grass fire is not going to jump across the parking lot and set a building on fire.
No.
And not to mention miss the trees.
Yeah.
It's not big enough to burn the trees, but easy enough to go there and jump across the parking lot and burn those buildings down.
Right.
Right.
All right. So there are other images of the damage that look extraordinarily suspicious to me. And with that, I'm just going to turn it back over to Henry and say, Henry, you got a drone. You better get that thing in the air, because now people know that you got one. We're going to be expecting some footage real soon from you.
No, yeah, I'm gonna make a promise.
Absolutely.
I will make a promise. For the one off the 91 freeway that's really local to me, I will go out there and then do a drone footage for sure. I will. I'll do one for sure.
Cool.
Awesome.
Okay, you guys. Stephen Paddock, the lone wolf, another lone wolf, and he's dead, so we can't ask him any questions.
Poor guy.
Oh, he died? Oh, that's right, he died.
Yeah.
That's right. He
Yep.
he killed himself, and then he
killed
killed
himself.
That's the story we're being told.
Yeah.
That video I made with the suicide picture is going viral on live links. Like it hit like 40,000 views or something already.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So do you think that was him?
Oh yeah, 100% no.
Really?
That's not him, man.
I mean,
Come on. We've been doing
No, it
breakdowns.
isn't.
We've been doing breakdowns on body doubles, dummies for how long now? You guys know we've been doing this forever. So we
yeah.
just pick it apart all the time. So
Oh, yeah. We pick it out right away. Like we know within the first article or first news clip.
No, that's right.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because it's just the same old storyline. Oh, the shooter's dead.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he had no motive to do this. And
Guess what? He left
Oh,
he left
yeah.
a note this time instead of a manifesto.
Yeah, we found a note. And what cracked me up was the note that they found is said to have had calculations of how
Yeah.
the wind was going to blow and
How to hit everybody in maximum
And I just said,
kill.
if you're going to shoot a crowd, which is milling around to some extent, you're not going to sit there and calculate these things. You're going to take your weapon, you're going to aim it in the direction, and you're going to shoot, right?
Yeah.
100% agreed.
What total
you guys,
BS?
You guys know I live in the ghetto, right? I live in the ghetto, Southern California, and there's this thing called drive-bys, right? You guys know what drive-bys are. You guys have them, right? Okay. So the best thing to do for Steve was just to hire an Uber guy, drive in front of the thing, and just start shooting, right? Instead of going up 32 flights of stairs or whatever he did, bring it to his high location. He could have just drove by it.
and break out some glass.
The windows,
How much force was really necessary to get that glass to do anything?
Yeah,
you're right. It would have been easier to break the car window than a hurricane-proof window. Oh my gosh!
It just stood out of the sun. Right?
Oh, too much, I tell you.
It's just comical. Like, it's just so corny and stupid. It's just... And then to top it all off, they come back and they totally changed the initial narrative. Right? And it's like, oh.
Yep.
For sure.
I have an article on that
No,
today
it
too.
didn't happen that way. It happened this way. Right. Okay.
Are we gonna bring up? Are we gonna bring up this whole people died, but it was still a psyop?
We
Okay.
need to bring
Yeah,
it up.
I wanna ask
Well,
you
we
guys
need to
that,
at least discuss how bogus that is. You know, everybody has their opinions, and you know,
Yes,
so it's at least worth discussing, I think.
I agree.
I do have something that I want to confront Henry on, and I'm going to do that in a moment. But at this very second, I'm trying to get a bunch of people in the chat that Amy keeps dropping links, trying to get everybody, you know, moderators, because we do get heavily trolled in our chat box, and I want to make sure that we're covered on that end. And this thing is it's messing with me right now, so I'm having to actually drop URLs into a special place just to create a moderator. It's just not working the way it should be working. So it's taking me longer to do that.
Well, I think that old YouTube is trying to make it the most difficult platform to operate of any on the web.
Yeah.
They're gonna destroy it too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think they, you know, they figure they've got enough people on it that are just watching. They can make it difficult for the people who are actually putting out content and doing things like we're doing here now. You know, just make it insane.
You know, speaking
I know that.
Speaking of that, Amy, that they're making it more difficult for us to communicate. Have you guys noticed that in the comment section? And by the way, we all know that the comment section is where it's at, right? The videos are good, but the comment section is largely, it's 50% of why we do what we do, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so have you noticed in the comment section that other commenters, even one single person, you have to click view reply? That's a new thing. It's like a brand new thing.
It makes it harder,
Really?
It's just one more fucking step that we have to take if we want to see what people are saying to each other.
Yeah, the only advantage to that is that you know, when you click it, at least you get to see all the replies that they're going to let you see. I don't know if there are replies we don't get to see. And, you know, the thing that really chaps my tail end on that is that, you know, I compare, you know, I'll go and I'll get a notice of a reply, and I'll go there and I'll click, you know, see all the replies before I respond, because I want to make sure that I'm in the right context. And I'll see all these replies to me that I never got notice for. You know, 3, 4, 5 replies, and they're to me, they'll say, you know, I'm presuming they clicked my reply thing. Never got a word from YouTube. And that's why I'm absolutely certain that they're breaking down communications. You know, they're letting us have enough to keep us from going, hey, where did all of my replies go? You know, we get enough of them, and if you don't click that see all replies, you might not know that there's a whole bunch that you never saw. So, yeah, YouTube.
But it tells you how many replies, though, right? It tells you how many replies there are, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. It just says view replies.
Just says view replies.
View replies, yeah.
Yep.
And I do the same thing when I reply. I go on like this, you know, replying thing. You guys know I always comment on every single comment. I try to. So, but when I do, and I'm like, I look back, like say the following day, and I replied to nobody, and didn't thumbs up, nothing. I was like, what in the world is going on? You know, YouTube is doing that. Probably, you know, people like us. So, and the same thing when I try to, and then when Aaron sent me the link to go ahead and mirror and promote the, you know, the live feed today, when I uploaded it went to a whole blank screen. Like my whole screen on my computer went blank. In the world, like this is crazy. And I had to do it like 2-3 times just to like mirror that video.
Yeah, I keep having my computer crash.
This is a still of Jesus Campos on Ellen.
Yes.
Hey, Henry, was it you that was saying compost or something?
Yeah, I messed up on the
It's
name.
actually Campos.
It is Campos. I'm like, and then people, they commented like saying it's Campos, and I was like, man, I got this from mainstream media. I think it was like from Snoops, and
But
I got it from ABC. They messed his name up.
Well,
When I first heard his name, it did cross my mind. Compost.
What I heard, and of course, I'm sure this is all to create all this confusion. What I heard was that that they had caught a second shooter named Jesus Campos.
Really?
Okay,
Oh,
that's
my
why
God.
they had a Jesus Campos and a Jesus
Oh my
Campos.
gosh. That's probably why. More mass confusion.
You
Right.
know,
Like
it's like
Jesus
exactly.
compost. Like
Well,
they're mocking, like they're just cutting Jesus
Mocking
down.
him.
Jesus
That's
compost.
right.
Oh my God! Yeah, more mockery. Hey, Henry, I want to ask you a question. When Las Vegas first happened, which, by the way, was on October 1st, the first day of the 10th month,
Mm-hmm.
Route 91, 9 plus 1 is another 10.
No.
The first reports was he had 10 guns in his room.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Our shooter was 64. 6 plus 4 is 10.
10. Yeah.
I saw 10s all over this within
Wow.
the first
It was
5 seconds.
It was on 10-1, right?
So Henry,
Yep.
what was your first clue that this? All right, besides the fact that they keep doing this and we automatically, people like us, we automatically go, oh, it's fake, and then we figure out why. We work backwards.
Work backwards.
It's fake until proven real.
Yeah, some of us go, okay, the probabilities are 99% probability it's fake.
Right.
Let's see if there's any evidence it's real.
Okay, so
Oh, no, there isn't. Okay.
so Henry, what was your first actual clue besides the automatic response that us truthers have? What was your first strong indication that it was fake?
Well, you know me, I dig. Well, you guys notice on my videos or my channel, I always upload the raw footage first, and then I do the breakdown. So then what I did was I just looked up cell phone footages, right? I just type in YouTube like raw footage or live footage or cell phone footage, and I look at it and I'm like, come on, guys, like this is absolutely 100% fake already. And you know, me being in the Marines, you guys definitely, if any of you guys shot a weapon before, you guys definitely know there has to be gunfire, you know, a proper gunfire noise in the first place, proper muzzle flashes, especially being at nighttime.
Thank you.
And how are people reacting? Those are the giveaways.
That's right.
The muzzle flash, though, they do make rifles now that don't have it.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, for sure.
No,
I agree.
No, they don't. They're called flash suppressors, and they only look.
They make.
It's parts. A suppressor. It's not an eliminator. It's the flash suppressor, not a flash eliminator. Mm-hmm. And by the way, the cell phone footage that we have is looking directly at the shooter. So you're looking directly down the muzzle of the barrel. There's going to be a flash.
Yeah.
And you might get hit by the bullet.
And if he had silencers on, like they said, those guns would have burned up within like one cartridge.
Yeah.
I knew a guy who was a machinist, and he was a big gun advocate, and he made a couple of different silencers of his own, and then he drilled, he threaded the tip of his rifle, and then I'm not saying this is legal. I don't think this is. I think you're allowed to make one, but you're certainly not allowed to make more than one, and you're not allowed to sell them. But he showed me what was inside and how they work. And Henry, you correct me if I'm wrong. You probably have more experience with guns than anybody on the panel combined. A silencer is designed to absorb the heat energy because it's the explosive gases that causes the shock wave, which creates the sound.
Yeah, right? Have you ever seen like on YouTube how it suppresses it? It takes that shock out of it. So all you're gonna see is pretty much either smoke or the bullet itself.
But the thing about it, he showed me the inside of the one that he made, and basically he used washers. Now, there's a kind of washer that you can buy from Ace Hardware, Home Depot. They're really, really thin, and they're bent. They're not flat washers. They're designed so that when the bolt screws down, the washer adds pressure, because the washer has this S-shaped bend in it, right? Everybody understand what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you put a bunch of those together, and because they have this funky little bend, they're not flat. They don't lay flat against each other. They have these tiny little air gaps in between. So you put a whole shitload of those together. The bullet travels through the center of the washer, and then the explosive gases, which, by the way, is hot. Okay, it's powder burning at extremely fast rate.
Yes.
And it's the shock wave caused by the heat. The heat causes the expansion. The expansion causes the shock wave. So in order to get rid of the shock wave, you have to absorb the heat. So you're right, Amy. To fire that many rounds, the silencer would melt.
I don't think I was the one that mentioned that. I think it was Ian.
Okay.
It'll burn up. It'll go on fire. I watched a demonstration video of a guy using a silencer and going through a bunch of rounds, and it all of a sudden just went in flames.
Mm-hmm. There's another video floating around of a guy who shoots one rifle, and he's got a whole table, a pile of. He's got 30 round magazines. He's got a couple of the can mags that have 75 rounds each.
75,
he fired roughly 900 rounds, and the damn barrel of the gun caught on fire. The wood stock on the barrel caught on fire.
Yep.
So so first and foremost, you just can't do that with one gun.
Rich, you've been pretty quiet the last while.
Yeah, pipe up, Rich. Don't be afraid to jump in.
See there?
We lost Rich.
Went into the ether.
Okay, so we tried covering Vegas a couple of weeks ago, and with Mark from Global Agenda, and I want to show you guys something real quick. You guys know me; I take a lot of notes, and I usually come prepared with pages of notes. When it comes to Vegas, and literally within a matter of about 2 or 3 days, I gathered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I gathered 8 pages of notes. And I gathered so many notes. Look at this. My pages were so full that I had to start adding sticky notes on top. I got notes. I got 2 or 3 pages of this shit. I got notes on top of notes. But my point is, we had Mark on, and I didn't get to cover everything. One thing I do want to bring up is the creepy and very strange, and it'll probably take me a second. I want to pull this up, and I want to read it to you. What's his name? Boris Johnson. You guys know this character, Boris Johnson? The weird politician. I think he's a British politician, right? The blonde-haired guy with the Justin Bieber haircut, the guy who got in trouble, I don't know, it was last year. You know who Boris Johnson is?
I've heard of him, but I don't have any details stuck in my mind.
Okay, I'm going to pull this up. Boris Johnson, I think it was a week before, only a couple of days. Boris Johnson gave a speech, and I forget exactly where. It might have been Myanmar or someplace. He gave a speech where he recited the poem Mandalay.
Right. Yes. I remember that now. That's where I've heard the name, because I remember that I forget. I also forget exactly where he was, but yeah. Yep.
The poem is by Kipling, and it was Myanmar at the Myanmar temple. Now, if you guys like the esoteric, this is a rabbit hole that'll keep you busy. This one rabbit hole alone. And I'm going to go ahead and screen share this article because I didn't get to cover it last week, and I really think it's worth highlighting here. Boris Johnson caught on camera reciting Kipling in Myanmar temple. Foreign Secretary, his impromptu recital of colonial era poem was so embarrassing, the UK ambassador was forced to stop him. And there's Boris Johnson, that blonde-haired bloke. that just looks like he crawled out of bed.
He is kind of
I
creepy. looking, isn't he?
honestly, I don't remember exactly what the scandal was, but this guy was embroiled in some scandal about a year ago. It was sort of a big deal. It was all over the news, and I just can't remember what it was. The Foreign Secretary has been accused of incredible insensitivity after it emerged he recited part of a colonial era Rudyard Kipling poem in front of local dignitaries while on official visit to Myanmar in January. Okay, so it was in January. So I misspoke. It wasn't a week earlier. It was in January. Boris Johnson was inside the Shwedagon Pagoda, the most sacred Buddhist site in the former capital, Yangon, when he started uttering the opening verse to the road to Mandalay, including the line, "The temple bells, they say, come you back, you English soldier."
Oh.
Now, I've got a note here, and it might take, I got pages to sift through. Might take me a second to find it, but there's something really, really interesting. And like I said, this is a rabbit hole that'll keep you busy if you're interested. George Orwell himself told a friend, he told his friend Malcolm Muggeridge, now get this, George Orwell told a friend, his friend Malcolm Muggeridge, that he thought The Road to Mandalay was the finest poem in the English language. So if that's not interesting enough, let's go read that poem because it's kind of strange. And I should be able to just delete Boris Johnson and get the poem here.
Not to keep harping on Bohemian Grove, but they also had a Mandalay camp at the Bohemian Grove.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, just like the Bushes had their the hillbillies, apparently. They all have their little camps within the whole thing. The
No, I didn't know that.
Mandalay camp.
So this character, Rudyard Kipling, has his own society, the Kipling Society. So here it is. And I'm probably not going to read the whole thing. Well, it's really not that long. But it's written as though the guy has no education. It sounds like some old Western, uneducated, rancher guy wrote this, okay? It's rather poetic, but it's written in a vernacular that's not used today. So I'm going to try and get through this. By the old Momian pagoda, looking lazy at the sea, there's a Burma girl, a Seton, and I know she thinks of me. She thinks, oh, me. For the wind is in the palm trees and the temple bells, they say, come you back, you British soldier, come you back to Mandalay. Come you back to Mandalay, where the old flotilla lay. Can't you ear their paddles chunkin' from Rangoon to Mandalay, on the road to Mandalay, where the flying fishes play? And the dawn comes up like thunder outer China cross the bay. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
See how he writes this? It's interesting vernacular.
Sounds like he's talking about a place on the ocean.
Her petticoat, as in her, it's abbreviation. Her petticoat was yeller, and her little cap was green, and her name was Soupy Ya Lat, just the same as Theba's queen. And I seed her first a smoking of a whackum white cheroot, and a wasting Christian kisses on an heathen idol's foot. Bloomin' idol made o' mud, what they call the great god Bud. Plucky lot, she's scared for idols when I kissed her where she stood, on the road to Mandalay where the flying fishes play, and the dawn comes up like thunder outer China cross the bay. When the mist, I mean, this is, I'm not going to continue reading this whole thing, but this is, this is something else worth, picking apart and analyzing. This is really interesting. I'm going to go, Actually, I'm just going to scroll through this slowly so it's on camera since I'm screen sharing. Where did I leave off? Was
Right
it
at the end of that one there.
Okay, so there's that.
That's all shoved behind me long ago and far away. And there ain't no business running from
Buses.
the bank
There ain't no
drive.
buses running from the bank to Mandalay. And I'm learning here in London what the 10-year soldier tells. If you've heard the east a calling, you won't never eat not else.
God.
I feel dumbed down already just reading this.
Me too. I'm having a hard time following. So,
I know.
oh my gosh.
It's really worth reading a couple of times to get the gist of what's being said here.
Oh, I understood it the first time I read it, but then I grew up reading British fairy tales and stuff,
Right.
and so I got a lot of feel for that approach.
So check this last stanza. Ship me somewhere east of Suez where the best is like the worst, where there aren't no 10 commandments and a man can raise a thirst. For the temple bells are calling, and it's there that I would be, by the old Molmian pagoda looking lazy at the sea.
What's a Molmian pagoda?
It's a Buddhist temple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I thought that was really, really interesting, and I haven't really had time to go deep into that particular rabbit hole.
Nothing really jumps out, though, related to Vegas.
But this guy, Boris Johnson, he's not the brightest fella in the flock. And for him to be reciting that particular poem, I thought was really striking. You know what I mean? I think there's something there. I just haven't put my finger on it.
Well, he recited that a few days before the event, right?
No, it was in January of this year.
Oh, okay. Well, it was before the event.
Yeah.
He was also pointing to where in Vegas, because we know they pointed to Vegas back with the UPS shooting at least, and there were probably other references.
Hey, aren't they talking about temple? He's talking about the temple, right?
Yeah.
Could they be talking
temple
about?
and
Could they
a
be
little bit.
talking about the Sphinx and the pyramid? That's right there at the scene.
Isn't that where that's? Forgive me if I screw this up, but isn't that where the Suez Canal is?
Yes, it's
Is it where the Suez Canal is?
in Egypt.
Because he mentions the
Oh
Suez.
my! Wow, you see, and it's probably like called the Little Egypt or something within the club, right?
That's why I thought it was worth something, and that's why I particularly read out the very last stanza.
So yeah,
I think I've already closed it out.
Yeah,
And that's why they said like there's no. That's why they said like there's no 10 commandments.
Yeah, that's interesting.
They live by lies. They live by
Well,
king-
because you think Las Vegas is Sin City, right?
Yep.
yeah, Sodom and Gomorrah, yeah.
Right. So yeah. Wow, interesting. And he read that out just this year, like.
Well, he read part of it. He started reading the first bits of it, and then the foreign minister literally had to stop him, the article says.
Oh.
Because it was apparently so, inappropriate and offensive, considering where he was and what he was reading.
Right.
But look, you guys,
C-Space mentioned that Suez, if you swap the S and the Z, you've got Zeus.
Zeus, yeah.
Ah, cool. Okay, so look, our friend Brian Hill is made an appearance. He's communicating with me on Skype at this very moment, and he's been dropping some information in Skype, and I want to try to get to as much of it as I can, but I do realize that we have a couple of guests and they have their own information that they would like to share. And Henry, you asked earlier if you could, screen share and stuff. So absolutely, if you got something you want to show, we'll get to that in just one moment.
Yeah, no problem.
One of the first things that Brian said to me that I did not know, and thank you, Brian, was that he said it took some time to figure this one out, trying to be ethical. He says, now, did you know that tickets for the 91 Harvest Festival sold on the 3rd of March? That's a 33, March 3rd.
Yeah.
Yep.
So those tickets went on sale on March 3rd, which is maybe a little bit early for a concert ticket sale. Maybe not. I mean, sometimes they do go on sale months and months and months in advance. Usually,
we're talking about 8 months though.
Yeah.
Hey, just put it this way: the Pink concert in Vancouver in April is on sale right now.
Okay. Oh, Brian just said the old flotilla, which is from the poem. He said the old flotilla is Venice. I'm gonna have to get down to this. Interesting. So anyway, Brian says that the 3rd of March is also 303 days until the year's end.
Wow.
October.
There are no 33s stamped on this whatsoever, right?
October 1st, when the shooting happened, is 91 days until the year's end.
Yeah, we knew that.
There's another 10 connection.
Yep.
10 and 9/11, 9/11.
I didn't know that one either.
Wow.
Okay, he says he checked how ticket sales went last year. He said they started selling in January and the venue, hang on, he's got a parentheses. I want to make sure I'm reading this correctly. I checked how ticket sales went last year. They started selling in January, and the venue, parentheses, 4th year, this was the 5th year, the venue sold out shortly before October. But this year, the venue sold out in June. So get that. So March, April, May, June.
Let's buy a bunch of tickets for our crisis actors.
Within 4 months.
Now, he says they may have sold out on March 3rd, but June is the only date where this year's harvest was already sold out that he could find. So it could have been earlier. And in capitals, he says, this is important as the harvest could theoretically have been sold out March 3rd. So theoretically, the entire concert, and you know what? Blue Blood Guitar said to me in a chat on when we had Mark on, when we were talking about Vegas, Blue Blood said he wouldn't be surprised if every single one of those concert goers was a crisis actor. Every one of them.
22,000.
Yeah,
George
and I don't
Soros
think
has got a lot of money, so
I don't think it was 22,000. It didn't look like 22,000 people.
No, it didn't.
No.
that's probably a while.
Well, they get up to at least 8,000 in just the drills.
That's right. That's right.
I got in an argument with someone saying like 22,000 people can't be in on what's going on. I'm like, no, you're over analyzing things. They only need a few key players, but
Exactly.
I had
Flash
for
mob.
me,
We call it a flash mob. That's all they need.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, but my friends and family were at this concert, so they're not crisis actors. They fill me in with the key information, what I needed, but that's all they wanted to give me. So, but they're not a crisis actor. For sure.
All right. So now that you brought it up, we got to go there.
Did you follow it up, Henry? Did you follow that
What's
up?
that? Yeah. I did as much as I could. I stepped on a lot of toes, and people were getting mad at me on Facebook and like, you need to calm down. You need to respect the dead. You guys know how it goes, like on the comment section.
They appeal to emotions. Yes. Yeah.
With your friends, you had friends that got hurt and ended up in the hospital. They got cut or something.
Yeah, they have. Like on one of the videos I did, this client I worked on, it's a local real estate office right here. Her friends were after the event, maybe it was like a couple weeks, and they were still in the hospital and they were trampled. So, and one of my other good friends stated that that flash on the 3rd or 4th floor was a 100%. It was a strobe and it was not gunfire. So that was like 100% proven it was false. And that and the taxi driver for sure confirmed that when she drove around to the backside of the Mandalay Bay and filmed the upper floors, and though there was no muzzle flash and there was no gunfire going off. So that was another confirmation.
Right.
And, but like you guys said, I wanted to confirm with a couple of friends that said that their friends were shot and they couldn't give me any information. I was waiting and waiting. I was like, okay, you say your friends was shot. You're a really good friend of mine. Show me. What are their names? Where's their wounds? I want to see this. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm being respectful, but I got to see this proof. And they didn't come up with it.
Do you think they were hushed? Do you think they were hushed by somebody, FBI, whatever?
I don't know. I mean, most of my friends know what I do, you know, especially on Facebook. I'm always exposing. I upload to Facebook. My page is not public or anything. It's private. It's pretty much only my families and friends. And, but they know what I do and they always stay hush hush on things like that when I try to start digging. So most of them did not come up with the proof. Yeah.
I want to put in here that Illusion Shattered and Sandra Teixeira.
I know it's hard to pronounce. Sorry if we screw that up, Sandra.
Both of them are mentioning the fact that it since we mentioned Bohemian Grove earlier, I thought I'd point this out, that there is a Mandalay camp at Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, didn't Ian say that?
Yeah, Ian said that.
Yeah.
Oh, did he? I guess I missed it, being distracted with the chat. I apologize. But yeah, that
Yeah.
Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, I looked that up too when Ian said it. I was like, wow, that is so crazy how they have these sub camps. You know what I mean?
They have all little names. Camp.
Yeah. So I mean, each subsect has a job and an agenda. You know what I mean? So that's how they kind of categorize it. Okay, well, you Masons, you guys do this. Well, you Illuminatis, you guys do this. And hey, you CFR, you guys do this. OTOs, you guys hang out on this side. You guys move out of the way. You know what I mean? Get out of the owl's way.
Badass, get in the back.
There you go. You build the burgers, get back. You know, as you guys are just the money people. You know what I mean? That's what it is. It's crazy how we when we break these down, we kind of start seeing what groups go where, and that's how we could get in and niche and then find out players. That's how it is.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just going to show this real quick. Henry, I'm not sure if you've seen this, and just to make sure that everybody else has seen it, I'm pretty sure I showed this when we had Mark and we talked about Vegas. I want to screen share again. This is something that I found pretty much within the first couple of days after Vegas. Pardon me while I get the screen share all good to go here. I put up this video. Henry, did you see this video? Mandalay or Mandala?
Nope.
All right, check this out. This is one of the very first interviews that ever went out to be broadcast on Vegas. So here's my video, and I'll just let it play for just a few seconds and you'll get the gist. The first thing that stuck out to me about Mandalay Bay was the word mandala embedded within the name. So that particular one that looks like a hand right there, looky there. This interview is one of the very firt interviews that was ever broadcast.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
That is crazy.
Mm.
And they purposely show that shirt too, like you see, they purposely show
Yeah, how
it,
it just kind of goes right on there. Yeah.
and it's in blue.
All right, so there you go. I don't need to play the whole video. You get it.
Well, that's a good catch. Yeah. That's like the one when I did Orlando Pulse, and one of the guys when they were carrying the supposed wounded, right, and when they finally panned to the back of him, he had a straight up all-seeing eye pyramid on the back of his shirt, and it was like it just sealed the deal right there.
Well,
so
you got to give credit. A lot of people wear that stuff now, though. It's become
that's
popular
true
wear. Like I see people around, like just walking around, and they got these Horus, Eye of Horuses and everything. It's becoming a popular wear now. People get into the Illuminati because that's what they want, right? They want you to get into that and be all chasing a coattail of something that doesn't exist anymore, right? Because they need to hide they need to hide who they really are by allowing us to say Illuminati. Oh, go ahead and use that all you want. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you can't pinpoint,
So you're not actually pinpointing your real enemy. It's always misdirection.
Yep.
Like, not to say that an Illuminati in general exists, like that, a cabal of people, running
a group
things.
of psychopaths.
Yeah, a group of psychos. That's right. Yeah. But whether you want to call them Illuminati, whether you call them Jesuit order, whether you call them the Zionists, it's we'll never really know. That's the problem. We'll never really know, right?
Well, I don't think we need to know what else they are. We
don't know the names of the,
We can work with the fact that they're psychopaths, and we have a way to take their power away from them.
So Henry,
Henry, pulling their clothes off.
Henry, did you edit the video that you put up? I don't know how long ago, a couple days or a week ago. Showing the video that shows that the crowd that starts to move before the show.
Oh yeah, yep.
Did you edit? I mean, did you edit that video?
I did not edit that video. That was another YouTuber that did it.
That did the editing.
That did the editing on it.
And
yeah.
you just played it and commented.
Played it and comment, and then I did a follow-up video on it that showed the video from the full length.
Okay.
Yeah, so that it's not really that much off on when that guy edited it. So. Okay. Yeah, but it clearly shows that these crisis actors or crowds on demand works. These guys clearly moved before any gunshots went off. It was like people said no, there was gunfire before, but for sure, eyewitness, my friends told me that these guys in the crowd were playing with firecrackers in the crowd. So, yeah, that's 100%. That was 100% proven that they were playing with firecrackers, and they were just throwing it right in the crowd, and people were getting mad, trying to figure out who it was, but that wasn't it. But so, if you guys watch that video, it was you guys know those marathon guns where they kind of blast in the air and make a really loud sound, like a starting on the marathon, boom, bam. That's when the crowd started to move.
Yep.
And no gunfire at all. I exposed all that. People said, oh, you can clearly faintly hear a gun, like a gunfire, but it was the helicopter propellers going off. Yeah. And then people keep on Facebook, they keep sending me these videos like, oh, here's a person that died. Here's a person that got shot. And it does not show anything.
Right.
That's why I have a video here that I want to show you guys that I found. I found one person shot. Right? Do you guys know who it was? You guys saw who it was? The person that was shot.
You mean the bald guy with the arm wound?
Yeah. There you go. Yep, that guy.
You got shot.
Another girl in the hospital, wasn't there? I seen another crisis actor in the hospital.
Oh, I've seen a lot of.
They were giggling and laughing in the hospital.
And clapping.
And clapping
with
and moving around.
Nice job.
Yeah. So I'm gonna play that part where he finds him. It's from the video is from Raw Video Escaping from Las Vegas. I'm pretty sure you guys all saw it.
Go
it's
for
like
it.
the construction guy. Let me see.
Go
here.
for it. Just you know how to screen
How do
share?
Not
That
really.
green button on the left side. It's got a little arrow. Just click on that,
Okay, screen share.
and you can screen share whatever window you want. And then just make sure you, if it says present to everyone, then make sure you click that.
Okay, so this one I think here. Yeah, there we go. It says present to share. Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let me see here.
Brian
All right,
says, by the way, the infamous taxi driver video, it came out originally on a channel promoting reality TV.
Reality TV.
Wow.
So a channel connected to the creator of reality TV.
Holy.
He says he's not 100% sure that that channel was the first to promote the taxi video,
Hey,
but he took a screenshot.
Hello.
I got you.
All right, there we go. All right, let's check it out. You guys ready?
Yeah, full screen it.
Full screen. Okay. Okay, so this guy here was just working on the street. He's like a maintenance guy or something like that, and he has like a safety vest on. So then he all of a sudden he starts filming these people. I'm pretty sure you guys saw this. See it here. And here's another footage of the Mandalay Bay where there is no muzzle flash here too. So everywhere, every single camera footage does not show muzzle flash from the Mandalay Bay. If people are saying that they were firing from there. And then if you guys look down here at the Mandalay Bay, there's a bus stop. I don't know if you guys saw that video too. It's a black guy and a white girl, and they're laying down at the bus stop. And they're like, and she goes and says, "Oh, you could see the glass flying out from the Mandalay Bay," and those are set up crisis actors, and they were not scared. They were right next to the gunfire. I don't know if I could pull that video if I can in a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and play it right here.
You guys keep an eye on the chat. I'm just way too busy. Ian and Amy.
I'm watching.
Keep an eye on the chat, please.
Yeah,
anything important, bring it up.
Oh.
Oh my God, back up, back up.
All right.
Back up just a few seconds.
Second.
Little tiny bit more. Right, almost there. Two more seconds. Okay, play and then get ready to pause. Right about right there. Wait, let it go, let it go, let it go. Right. Oh shit! I thought I saw.
Truck.
I thought I saw that girl in the blue shirt who said that who gave the interview talking about the woman saying you're all going to die. I thought I saw her coming out right there. But anyway, go ahead.
I will say this. Didn't Ellen do something about what's in the box? And we've got that sign that says box. May have no connection, but oh, and look, there's a C and an eyeball.
That's so obvious, yeah.
That is not the eye of consciousness like my eye.
Looking at it.
Hey,
So that's another thing too. You guys know that girl supposedly came out and said that she heard multiple shooters, and then a few days later she ends up dead. So I don't know if that's 100% real.
Her name was let me see, I got a note here. Kimberly Muchin or something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy name.
Suchomel, Suchomel. Kimberly Suchomel. She dies in her sleep. She's 28 years old. She gets no fucking coverage. She survives, and then
And all of a sudden gets axed.
That's
Yeah.
it was right after she started posting shit on Facebook and
Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Facebook.
I think that perhaps that's a red herring too, because if she was saying there was multiple gunshots, and I highly doubt there were any gunshots, I have to give some probability that she's just more part of the misdirection.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Henry.
No.
You're trying to show something. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ian.
On the mainstream media, they did come out and talk about possible multiple shooters, right? And that was actually a mainstream talking point for the first few days.
Well, they do that every time, Ian.
Yeah.
And that's the
On
misdirection.
every single event, they always start off with 2 or 3 shooters, and then they drop it down to 1.
Drop it down. Yep. It's the narrative.
Well, no,
it's to confuse.
But it was the other way around here. Like initially, it was one lone guy, and then all of a sudden, in the mainstream, they were asking, "Oh, were there multiple shooters?" It seemed like there were, right?
Yeah, it was because too many people were talking about it. Is what it was.
It's those injections they put in to misdirect you.
I think that's a double bluff right there. I honestly think that's a double bluff. Now, we know that there were incidents of active shooters at least being reported within the ranks of the police themselves. There were active shooters at something like 5 or 6 different hotels. Caesar's Palace, New York, New York, the Aurora, the Bellagio. Supposedly the Bellagio windows were blown out.
Apps, I forget what hotel he was at, but he was at a different hotel saying they were hiding under the blackjack tables because there was an active shooter.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they just wanted to keep everybody away from the hoax area. That's what I think.
I don't. Yeah.
It's all in lockdown, so there's no witnesses to what's going on.
Yep.
That's right, Ian. I think you're right.
Yeah. No, that was 100% for sure. They do that. But going back to the girl that died, I really think that they set that up so that people don't say anything. I think that's what it is. It's a threat to say if you say something, they're gonna get you. I think that's what it is. They're setting a.
You know what?
That
That actually makes a lot more sense. And look, for anyone within the sound of my voice, regardless of what you think of the man, Mr. Oli Demigard, who we've had on a few times, has said in previous interviews, not ours, we didn't talk about this with him directly, but he has said on previous interviews that his friend Chip Tatum, who's supposedly an ex-CIA guy, which I never trust ex-CIA people, but the story is from Ole, from his friend Chip Tatum. He says, look, it's really easy to control a group of people. You pull one of them aside and you kick his ass in front of the rest of the people, and that's usually enough to do the trick. And if it's not, you knock one off in front of everybody, and that'll do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, that's true.
Heck yeah, the sheeps will follow. Trust me.
So go ahead.
All right. So we're going to skip around here because it's a pretty long video. So we're going to keep going. But you can see, you guys look this up. It's no one ever getting shot. No one's ever really bleeding. We're going to go down to where he finally meets the guy that the only person I saw at this event, besides the people that, of course, the one on live links where people were just laid out and they're already bleeding. They're bleeding from the face. They're bleeding from the head.
Walking over all of the bodies.
Yeah, walking over the blood, walking over the bodies. I'm trying to treat you. Where's your wounds? And he's like trying to look for it, but they tell him where's the wound.
That was a big deal.
Sounded scripted. Like the guys that were saying, I need to do this or something. I can't remember what he said, but it just sounded scripted to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm getting closer. Oh, here it is. I think this is it. Oh yeah, here he is. So so he gets him on camera here, and he walks up, right? And keep in mind that this guy was shot in the upper chest, kind of like by towards the lung, with a 308 round, right? And he was also shot in the forearm. So let's go ahead and roll it. Oh wait, let's go back. Let's see when he walks up. How do I get rid of this little screen thing? Yeah. Hide.
No,
How
it's
do we
okay,
get rid
Henry.
of this
Take your
right
time.
here?
Take
Oh,
your
there
time,
we go.
Henry.
It's a good thing you're a good computer tech, eh?
We can even do a little bit of overtime if we need to, because this is a really big subject, and we're probably not going to cover it all anyway.
So here you go. Here he is walking up. Yeah, see him? He's in that right corner right there, laid out. There he goes.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah.
That you won't be able to do that if you're shot in the chest and in the lungs. You can't come. You're overstretching that wound right now.
And this is an overweight man as well.
Yeah, look at him.
This guy would not be able to walk that distance without leaving a trail of blood and without being winded. If you're shot in the lung, you're not walking very far. You're gonna be coughing up blood. Oh, and if you're shot in the lung, guess what? You cough up blood. It comes out your mouth.
Yes. Here he comes. He goes, I need help.
Yeah, he's like, I need an ambulance. I need help. Look at him. He's fine.
Blood anywhere?
Oh, you do see blood, Amy. If you haven't seen this video, there is blood dripping off of his elbow. He lifts his arm and he's dripping.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got one of those blood packs.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
And for anybody who doesn't fucking believe me, I will show you a very realistic blood pack. And better yet, go watch the video, our show with plasma burns, because that guy busted this shit wide open.
Yeah.
He found the company that
big
makes
time.
super advanced. They're called sleeves. It's a latex sleeve you can pull over your whole arm or your whole leg or your whole torso. They look real as hell. And they come with little tubes and blood packs to make it look like a squirting injury. I mean, this is no joke. This is high-end stuff.
When did you release that video, Aaron? When
did we have plasma burns? A month ago? 2 months? A month and a half ago?
Let me see if I can find out.
All right. But so this guy is walking all this way, and he even says they put a tourniquet on my arm. So they let this man that was shot
and just walk away.
Just walk away by himself towards gunfire. That doesn't make any sense, right? Go on, guys.
Now look, Henry, you're what? Navy, Marines, ex-Marine?
Yeah, Marines.
Yeah. Did you wind up getting sent overseas? Did you serve anywhere?
No, I didn't. I just went to China, did intel out there. Went to Alaska, mostly like Westpac over on this side though. Yeah.
You went to China and did intel?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to have you come back and explain that one.
Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah, I'll fill you guys in that later offline.
I put the link to the plasma burns episode.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thanks, Amy.
It was about 2 months ago.
All right.
Yeah. So we had plasma burns on who cracked the Boston bombing wide open. In fact, plasma burns, as it turns out, is where PK got all his good stuff from. Most people don't know this. Most people don't know this, but PK, you know, all those videos where he tracked and traced literally everybody there, that's the work of Plasma Burns and his partner.
Gotcha. So they follow every single one first, just that one person, and do that breakdown. So here he goes. He's gonna go. They're gonna sit him on a chair. You guys see that?
So where's he shot?
He's shot in the arm, in the
Lift
bicep.
his arms up.
And he'd be sitting in a chair like that? No way.
Okay, so first of all, when you get shot with a 223, 556, 308, any of those high caliber weapons, your arm does not look like this. You guys see his arm? It looks like a zombie attacked him. You guys see that? It's like meat. It's like all kinds of like just gashes and meat that's hanging off his arm, which is absolute 100% fake.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look real to me, and I'm not exactly an expert.
Brian just said Plasma Burns is a hero. And I got to tell you, man,
I agree.
Plasma Burns and his friend or partner or whatever guy he worked with to put together like a 3.5-hour documentary on Boston, and it makes PK look like a schoolboy.
Wow.
Okay, so
Yep.
if you anybody listening to me, and I'm not talking shit about PK, I'm just telling you, Plasma Burns, you want to know about Boston bombing, go to Plasma Burns channel. There's a 3-hour and 15 or 3-hour and 20-minute video that will make PK look like a fucking amateur.
Man, it's a good breakdown. I gotta check it out, definitely. But so we see here they start putting the light on him, and you're gonna see the chest wound and the arm, right? So they cover it up.
You see any blood on his mouth?
There's no blood in the mouth. There's no blood.
You don't get shot in the lung by a high-powered rifle without being coughing up blood. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I'm not buying that one.
Exactly.
You
Yep,
know, it's
I
gonna
don't
feel
buy it at all.
And if you're shot in the lung, you sure as fuck ain't gonna walk very far.
No way. You're gonna be gasping for air.
That's right.
You're gonna
You
be on the
probably
ground.
aren't going to be walking.
You're gonna be on the ground.
I'm just guessing.
That's not a wound that you like. Look, I understand that people get shot and they don't realize that the bullet maybe went through one part and then went into another part. You know, I understand the adrenaline. I've been injured and I've had adrenaline experiences. I get it. But you don't get shot in the fucking lung without knowing it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah,
You're gonna be
exactly.
feeling it.
And by the way, to get shot in the lung, chances are you're gonna have broken ribs as well. I mean, there's only a tiny,
Collapsed lung, broken ribs, man.
Yeah, you're gonna only go like 1/4 of an inch to 3/8 of an inch between your between each rib. So there's a good high chance that one of your ribs got hit as well. So you're gonna fucking know it.
Yeah.
And this guy's
That's
like, oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. And like my buddy guy, shot 3 times in the chest, my buddy. So
Oh, yeah.
absolute
Weird,
impossible to it's like 12-inch target center mass from 500 some yards away. Impossible. Not even the best sniper could do all that. So see that?
Okay. Seen enough. Put the shirt back.
Yeah.
Let's just worry about the arm.
Yeah. So that's that. I mean,
Pause
super
right there.
obvious
Pause right
mistake,
there.
isn't it?
Pause right there. Is that a medical guy working on him? Is that a hospital shirt he's wearing? And is that a nurse behind him?
It looks
That
like
is.
Lift the Veil.
Nathan Stoltman.
No.
Kinda does. Okay, it might not be.
Hey, off topic for 2 seconds. Have you guys seen the video where Nathan Stoltman is at a protest, gets his phone stolen? Okay,
No.
okay, all right, all right,
It
back to
was
the
a joke.
subject. All right, go ahead.
So how are these people already here, though?
Right, that's my point. This looked like medical people,
Yeah.
like serious medical people.
Or maybe they came off the set of General Hospital.
'Cause that guy is wearing a set of gray scrubs. He's wearing scrubs. This guy's talking, and look, man, you get shot in the lung. I'm sorry, your lung fills up with blood, dude. You're choking and coughing it out. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Ask anybody.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the end of the video. I'm pretty sure that was his main job, was to capture that guy right there and then make it more dramatic, but that was the end of the video. So That was his job.
Amy, did you want me to give Bomby Simpson a wrench?
Yeah,
Sure.
there's that guy on Ellen, Jesus Campos. But I wouldn't want to. I don't know if you play it, you'd probably get some copyright.
Yeah.
Knowing where that comes from.
Yeah, because I was gonna do a breakdown on his storyline and Steve storyline from the diagram that they gave. So like, this is the reason why Jose Campos couldn't do that Fox interview with Sean Hannity, because he didn't have this diagram at the time, probably. You know what I mean? And they had people probably wanting to ask questions, so they put him on Ellen DeGeneres show so she can control the narrative. You know what I mean? And
Right.
you can see it through this whole through it. She explains everything. She's the one with the pointer. She does everything for Jose. So yeah. So if you guys watch this, you guys definitely know that this was 100% staged.
Yes.
And even Ellen, at the end of the interview, she goes, "Okay, Jose, you're not going to talk about this anymore. This is it. You know, you're not going to, no one else is going to be able to ask you questions." It's like she kind of like squashed the whole entire.
I think it's important to point out that all of the information that Lombardo has given out so far, all of the information that Ellen acquired from Jose Compost, and I'm going to keep calling him Compost because it's probably more fitting.
Good.
Look, this needs to be said. If this was a real shooting, then all of this information would be silent. They wouldn't talk about it. They would say, "I can't comment. It's an ongoing investigation," because there are legal issues involved here.
Yeah.
You can't talk about these details if you're working on a case to go to court.
And that brings something.
Of course, he's dead, so there will be no court. Go ahead, Ian.
That brings something to mind. Do you remember? Did you guys see that Laura Loomer? I think her name is. She went to the house of the Jesus's family, and she went up to the door and she tried to get them to have an interview with her, and they were all like, "No, we can't talk to you," and they were slamming the door in her face. Yeah. And she seemed all kinds of suspicious. But the thing is, the lawyer probably said, "You can't talk to anybody because you're liable at this point, right? You're liable if you slip up or say something wrong, like, you know what I mean?"
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
I don't know if anybody saw that or not.
I just thought maybe I know that Rich has been waiting to put it in about 15 minutes worth of screen share on stuff, and was wondering if we could do that now.
Yeah,
you guys go ahead.
Yeah, in fact, absolutely go ahead, because I need to go back and review some of the stuff that Brian is sending me in Skype, because he wants me to talk about this Formula One connection with this character known as Mafi or Mifi.
I don't know anything about that character, but okay. Anyway, Rich, you there?
Yes.
Awesome. Let's rock. What you got?
Well, I have some documents to show, and I'm going to think about 15 minutes. But as long as we're on the Jesus Compost subject, I saw today that he was arrested as the second suspect. Now that could be totally wrong. You know what I mean, what can you believe anymore, right?
Well, what I heard was that they arrested a guy named Jesus Compost, C-O-M.
Isn't it the same?
No, the one on Ellen DeGeneres is Compost, C-A-M. So yeah, there's a lot of confusion being put out there. They said that they had a Jesus Compost, C-O-M-P-O-S, and the one on Ellen is Compost, C-A-M.
Okay.
So So yeah, it's all really
Really, they're
crazy.
throwing that name around like all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah, there's something to it.
Oh, and speaking of Ellen, are you guys aware that Ellen is heavily connected with MGM?
Yes.
Did you know that she has her own slot
Yeah.
machine?
Yeah,
You
she
have to
did a
get your own
little
slot machine.
commercial. She did a little commercial for all that in the middle
Yeah.
of this
That's
Jesus Campos
Yep.
thing.
Segment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, rock on. I want to see what you got there, Rich.
Okay, do you have some of the stuff? Remember we talked about it?
Yes,
Yeah,
in fact, if you want me to screen share, I can. I've got everything that I captured from
Okay,
that.
let me go first. Let me go first, and then
Okay,
and then you can go. Okay.
I got
Okay,
it all
so,
ready to go.
So, let's see. When Orlando happened, I started looking through crime records and came up on this site called Spot Crime. And I mentioned this last time I was on. And then I made a video, and then I sent it to PK, and he made a better one. So I'm going to play just a minute of the PK's version. Okay, and so here we go.
Open shine this very interesting website.
You're not screen sharing there.
Hang on, let me highlight Rich. Yeah,
Yeah,
Rich, you're not screen sharing, Rich.
Rich, you'll have to go and press your screen share button. It's on the left.
You got to
that
go to
green
the
arrow.
Green button, upper left
the
corner.
green arrow.
Shine this very interesting
Wait, shut up, PK.
And whoever's
So-
got the other thing going on, can you just mute whatever else is going on in the background there?
Okay, so let me get back to you guys. Okay, here we go. So screen share. I have the button on the. I have the button on cursor on the green button. And so what do I do?
Yeah, in the Hangout,
Yeah, I got it.
it should
So-
pop out a little bar and there's a green button with an arrow that says screen
yeah,
share. Click that.
Okay, I got it. How's that?
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Select.
So it's an echo. So what? Is it okay?
Yeah, select the tab
Yeah.
that you want to share. You know, the content that you want to share.
Okay.
There you go.
Full screen it.
Okay. Full screen it, but that takes my tabs out. So
There you go.
okay, so I'm just gonna play a minute of this first. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna lessen this screen because I need to get to the tabs. Okay. So you don't need to really see the whole thing.
Yeah. Press the second screen thing on there. It'll enlarge the screen, but keep your tab windows.
Ah, this character Maffey that Brian is mentioning, he's counsel on foreign relations.
Oh, I'm sure they're not involved, right?
I guess his real name is Manuel de Costa. That actually almost sounds familiar.
Aaron, I put Blue Blood's link above in the tab.
Okay, thank you. I need the URL. No, I need you to drop the URL in the chat.
It is.
Yeah, it's up there.
It's
I'm not seeing
above
it.
Bobby Simpson
Oh, I got you. Thank you.
or something. No, above. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
whatever. So what are we looking at here?
Okay. A little confused now. Fortunately, you know, I'm not gonna large screen it.
All right.
Yeah. Now I'm really confused. I'm gonna get back here. Okay, so anyway, I've lost that tab. So anyway, it was what PK was saying is that there is a website called Spot Crime, as you can see up here.
Yeah.
You can see my cursor.
Uh-huh.
And what it does is you can you can go around the nation and spot crimes. What they do is they get feeds from police stations and sheriffs and stuff like that, and it goes down from states to right down to your street, you know, so you can spot crimes. And they have them arrests, arson, assault, burglary, as you can see here. You can see these things, vandalism, and they have they have shooting, right? And so, so in the Pulse nightclub shooting, I looked for it and I couldn't find one in Orange County, any kind of shooting in Orange County, and that's what the video that PK made. And so I have friends who are debunkers. They debunk me, and they successfully debunked me. And they said, "Hey, we found this in Orlando area. We found the shooting in Orlando area." And so, sure enough, I was debunked. But it should have been as well in the Orange County as well, because this is Sheriff Demings, as we know, right? You know this. You remember this guy, right? Sheriff Demings, right here. He's the sheriff. He's the Orange County sheriff.
Yep.
And here's his assistant sheriff, the smiley guy with the big smile.
Oh, I remember these guys. Yep.
Yep.
Here's Mayor Dyer, and here's the captain. What's his name? And we know who this is. So it's right here. And so.
Yep.
So anyway, it should have been. It should have been in his records in Orlando, but it was not. There was no record of a shooting in Orlando, in Orange County, but there was in Orlando. And so I looked at it, and there was a couple of peculiarities about it. And one was that there was no case number on it, and all the rest of the crimes on it had a case number. And so, and the other peculiarity was that it was the source of it was from the central command of the project for Orlando. That was the source of the information. That's the same source that the TV stations get their information from, right? So it was not an official source, and I'll show you a little bit what I'm talking about in reference to the Las Vegas shooting, because let's see. So what do we have here? Okay, so we have spot crime here. You can browse by state, which is what I'm going to do right here. Up here, you see it? Up on the top. You there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're here.
Okay. Browse by state. And so I'm going to go to, where are we? Nevada, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nevada. And we're going to go to Las Vegas. And we see over here Las Vegas crime map. We see Las Vegas neighborhoods. We saw Las Vegas most wanted and Las Vegas daily crime reports, which is what I'm going to go to. Let's take a look.
Yeah, sometimes the internet goes slow when you're on these Hangouts.
Oh, really?
You guys, I got some, go ahead. I got some good meat to peel off this bone as soon as you get done, Rich, because
You're making me hungry.
Brian is dropping me some real gems in Skype right now about this character Maffey and the CFR and the connection to Formula One racing, and this needs to be brought up.
Well, you want to wait on that, or do you want to?
No. Finish your thing. No. I don't want to take time. You're my guest, so go ahead. I mean, no. I'll do overtime, or I'll do another show, but I'll make sure this gets out. So go ahead, Rich.
Rich, you can go right to the date of the shooting?
Yes, right. You can go right to the date of the shooting. So it was 10/1, right? And
10/1. That's right. 10/1.
10/1. So, and we have here Las Vegas. See it? Las Vegas there. And we'll go to 10/1, which is right there. And we'll take a look. It's really fast on my computer. For some reason, it's slow here. Oh, this is not bad. Okay, so let's look, and we're looking for shootings, right? And for 10-1, you see any? There is none. There's no shootings, and this is a crime blotter, right? And this site is pretty legitimate. Let me show you. Let's pick one of these crimes and take a look at it. Anyone? How about this robbery right here? And it's a robbery, 10-1, block of North Buffalo, Las Vegas, and we can have details over here.
Now,
So-
well, are these crimes based off of police, like bookings?
Yes.
Okay, well, there wasn't anybody arrested for the crime. So,
Well, you'll see that, okay, well, we'll find the most insignificant of crimes when no one's arrested. And the thing I want to point out is that, okay, we have the information here, address, source, we have a case number. That's what I want to point out. Right here, we have a case number right here. And that's the case number right here, right? And so every one of these, let's close this. Every one of these has a case number. You pick one, Amy, any one.
Yep. I've already gone
Okay.
through many of
have you
them,
checked
and
the,
they
have you
all.
checked the FBI's website? I don't know how often they update it, but have you checked there?
No, I have not. I've only done this, so. this is-
That'd be interesting to do because in Sandy Hook, there wasn't any reported deaths in Sandy Hook for that year.
Yes, I've seen that.
And no one could really explain that either.
Can you go to the second 10-2? Because
Yes,
when
I'm
I
gonna
did
do
my
that.
search,
I'm going to do
Okay.
that. So I'm going to go back to, so we didn't have it on 10-1, so let's take in 10-2 because maybe they logged it late. So let's take a look on 10-2, which is here. And sure enough, here's the map. And we go to the bottom, we find a, let's see, quite a bit, we find it. If we find a shooting, this is the only shooting on the page, all right? And this is it, right? Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas. And so, Ian, you pick one of these here. Anyone. Pick anyone. And let's take a look at it just so we can compare. Besides the shooting.
Do the assault. There's an assault one up.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Just grab
Doesn't really
one.
matter. Pick the burglary.
This burglary right here. Okay, let's take a look. So, details. The details. It's a burglary. We have a case number. Now we have a source as well. Here's the case number again. And then also we have a source. And so let's look what the source is. Okay, it's the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
Vegas strong, of course. Jesus Christ.
And so this is a legitimate legitimate listing in this crime blotter. Okay, so let's look at the shooting at the Mandalay Bay. Let's look at the details. Oh, and here's we have more than 20 people were killed and 100 injured in a horrific shooting near the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas Sunday night, police said. Videos filmed by onlookers gave a window into the chaos that
Hey, what
ensued.
about the thousands of surveillance cameras? Why can't we see it?
Yes, we should be in
Oh,
there.
Ian, you and your logic.
There's some
really.
thinking that the fireworks were going off. The final night of the Route 91 Harvest Musical Festival was taking place across the street from the Mandalay Bay when the shooting took place and the concert goers were caught off guard. Now, this is not really a kind of official report, is it?
Yeah, they're caught off guard before the shooting started.
Yes.
They started running before they even started shooting.
That's true. That's true. So that all fits here in this report. But let's take a look at something. Or what we're not looking at, or we're not seeing, is a case number. You see a case number?
Nope.
There is no case number. In this particular format, it's usually down here. But we do have a source. We do have, oops, not the source. Here's the source right here. So let's view what it is.
Social media.
Nice try.
Pretty much.
They
Facebook.
tweeted gunshots.
They'll link you to Facebook.
Link you to Facebook. These people said it was real.
Might as well be. It's ABC News, right? It's ABC News.
Might as well.
So-
Same thing, all C&I right there.
Yep.
Yep. So what I'm saying is, and so I got interested in this, and I got the upgraded version of this, and with that you can search anything, and so you can search all the ones that we either know or suspect to be false flags or whatever, you know, or hoaxes. And so I looked, for example,
Psyops.
psyops.
That's a better term.
I looked for San Bernardino, for example, right? I looked at quite a few actually, but I'm not going to show them all. I'll just give you a sample. San Bernardino, and when was that? That was shooting, it was 12/02/15. So, what's this? 12/02/15. So, oh, how nice. Here it is right here. Oh no, 12/02/15 and shooting. This is it actually. This is it, the shooting 12/02/15. Okay.
That hoax? Yeah.
Again, that hoax, exactly. Again, let's pick one of these. Let's pick one really trivial, an other, okay? Let's pick an other. An other. See up here where I am? Z. I'm at Z. XYZ. Right here. So I'm going to go across here. It's an other. And let's take a look. So, well, you know.
Non-violent case.
It's got the case number up in the title.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. I was going to say, fuck me, it doesn't have a case number, but there it is right there. Okay. There's the case number right there.
It says family offense non-violent.
Yeah, non-violent case.
Yelling, screaming, who knows?
Right. So,
Yeah.
so we're convinced that this list has case numbers, right? So let's go to the shooting. I could show you another one, but I don't want to waste your time too much. You can go to it yourself. So let's go to the shooting for San Bernardino.
I know there's no time on that one either.
I'm just curious of what a non-violent family offense actually means. He called my wife a bitch, so it winds up on Spot Cron.
Well, it could be a house party.
And it might even get a case number, right? But this one, this shooting in San Bernardino, the violence began around 11 a.m. at the convention center.
But no case number.
No case number.
No case number.
And guess what the source? There is a source. There is a source. You want to guess?
It's gonna be Ian's Facebook.
CNN.
One of the 6 Zionist news networks, I'm sure.
AP.
Hey.
Of course.
I
Right. Okay.
Oh my
We
god.
should start a drinking
Oh my
game.
God. Yeah, there's their source, right?
Found the beers for
Yeah.
everybody.
The
Sure,
police
see, and you
department
trust,
source.
you can trust these guys.
we need
Oh my lord.
to start a drinking game anytime CNN has a
We
source.
should, man. We got to on this stuff.
Oh boy. Yeah, this is fun. This is interesting, Rich.
Oh, I got some juicy shit, man. Whenever you're ready.
I'm not done yet.
No, take your time, Rich. I'm not trying to rush you. I'm not trying to rush you.
When you're done, I'm going to show the little bit that I pulled
right.
off Spot Crime and
But we're
show
not
what I
rushing you.
wound up with.
I mean,
So-
I'm good to do overtime if you guys are. So whatever.
Yeah, I'm good, you guys.
So,
Dead air. Come on, roll it. Keep it going.
notes here a second.
On the morning of Friday, November 1st, 2013, Ciencia, CIA entered Terminal 3.
Yeah, CIA and CIA.
CIA. Yeah, I know. That was horrible. This was the one they had the dummy, wasn't it? Wheeling the dummy out on the wheelchair.
The tarmac,
Yep.
It was, wasn't it, on the tarmac?
LAX.
There it is.
There he is.
There he is. There's the dummy.
There's the dummy.
Yeah, this is absolutely my
It's obvious too that
my
it's a dummy.
favorite fake shooting.
What, his
That's-
legs just dragging or something? Like
Yeah, his legs dragging along, but don't worry, we'll pick it up.
Jeez.
like literally. It's
And then watch the cop, the guy with the gun disappears under the
oh,
bridge.
they zoom up to who? What? To some firefighters? What is it?
Well, they
Yeah,
go
they come
past
to
the
the-
ambulance.
Oh,
Ambulance. They go to the last ambulance. They go to the last ambulance.
All the way down.
And then they got like 100 guys to come watch. I love this part. Where's the gurney? Get the gurney out. Oh, it's
They got all their triage tarps laid out and nobody on them.
okay. And it's got what do you mean, 20 guys trying to move this guy into the gurney, right?
What the hell? They don't want to break his arm off.
No, they don't want to break his jaw.
Oh, no.
Oh.
So I love this one. Now I've skipped a big part of my presentation here because this is the ending part really, and I will so end it. But I looked at a bunch of other of the hoaxes, right? And I can't find that page right here, unfortunately, but I'll do it after this.
The dummy's
Okay.
name is Manny Mannykin.
Manny.
That's what
I think you're right.
That's
you're
what
right.
Zach put in the chat. You should give him a wrench, Aaron. Zach.
I need the URL, bro. I can't just.
I'll get it.
So,
Hang on.
I'll get it.
How do you guys see the chat? I don't see it on my
It's
end.
on my
Oh,
channel.
you have to open it up on his channel.
Yeah, you got to open up a tab with my channel, and it'll the live chat is over there and on
But
this.
Henry,
It's being broadcast live on my channel right now, so it's over there.
Make sure you mute that channel, though,
Yeah, Henry, when you go there, mute it immediately, otherwise you'll get feedback.
No feedback. Yeah. Okay.
You got it there,
Am I
Aaron.
back? Oh,
Oh,
let me know.
oh, the link. Okay. Is that Zach Hawkins?
Yep.
My buddy. Zach, you get a wrench without question.
So continue on, Rich. Where were you here?
Okay. I'm going to read a little of this to show how absurd this crime was. So on the morning of Friday, November 1st, 213, Cia entered the Terminal 3 after being dropped off there by a roommate. He was carrying a bag filled with semi-automatic 223 caliber Smith & Wesson 15 rifle, 530 round magazines, 100 additional rounds of ammunition contained in boxes. Walking up to TSA checkpoint, he pulled the rifle out of the bag and opened fire, shooting TSA officer Geraldo Hernandez in the chest at point blank range. He then went up an escalator, but returned to the checkpoint and shot Hernandez again after seeing him move. And so this goes on, and it just gets even more absurd. So he comes, he's just wandering around the airport, right? So you can this is just WikiLeaks. So what I wanted to show you is this. We have Los Angeles, okay, and instead of and I've just gone straight to the. You've seen me demonstrate this already. I've gone straight to the crime blotter, okay, and that was on. That date was November 1st, 213. So Okay. November is what, 9, right?
11.
Oh, 11.
11th month.
11. Oh, that's 215.
How does the saying go, Henry? It's remember the
The 5th of November.
5th of November.
Gunpowder, treason, and plot. I see no reason the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot.
I keep wanting to
it
say
rhymes.
N at the end, but it wouldn't rhyme then, and wouldn't scan either. Should never be forgotten.
We're going to 11-1.
You guys better be ready for November 4th.
I heard about Antifa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that I mean, we
I'll
know
bet
that
you-
that's entirely manufactured.
I'll bet you it fizzles.
You
Okay.
think so?
It's not George Soros's birthday that day.
Yeah, yeah, Henry, I do think so because it's too much hype.
Okay, yeah. Could be.
Yeah,
Too much.
I agree. It'll be
I've
just sort of
seen
a,
this too many times. When there's all kinds of hype, nothing happens.
yep.
It's just sort of a pattern. I mean,
Fake news.
that's just my guess. But then again, I could be wrong. I've been
Just like
wrong.
that. Yeah.
I
Just
was
like that
wrong.
Google, whatever.
I was wrong once before.
I'm still waiting for Anonymous to hack the cabal and take them down.
Yeah, no kidding.
I've been waiting a really long freaking time. So what are we looking at here?
Well, I don't know. Are you guys still there?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're just waiting for you to find.
Yeah, we're watching while we're chatting while we're watching.
We're looking at 11/1/13, the day of the shooting, and we're looking at Los Angeles County, as you can see. And if you go through this list, you will find absolutely no shootings.
But it was real. I saw it on TV.
My sister's cousin's nephew's dog aunt said it was.
And if you go to the second, I'm pretty
I
much,
believe it.
but if you go to the second, just in case they added late, you will find no shootings.
Yeah, figures.
You're talking about the spot crime, though, right?
You're on, Amy.
Okay, unscreen share yourself there, hun.
Yeah, Rich, you
and,
gotta hit your screen share button again, and it'll stop your screen share.
Okay.
there we go.
There you go.
All right, let me get me on.
Rich, where can I get a hat like that?
Hey, I'm selling them.
Do I gotta join your Patreon?
No, you gotta just send me a check for $100.
$39.95.
Oh, I'm gonna have to do this.
Tinfoilhatstore.com.
Okay.
I'm gonna need a.
Tell
I'm gonna need a.
Am I?
Tell them Rich
I'm
sent
gonna
you.
need a tinfoil full face helmet as well. What I'm gonna need.
Am I on?
You got it, Amy.
Okay, you may notice I ran the address of the Mandalay Bay. And this was a while back. Apparently they have taken away some of the things, but we have Mandalay Bay here. These are just screenshots, so I can't click anything. This is in the 3900 block, the 3900 block. We have an assault in the 3900 block. And you may notice these are all on 10-2, just like we found the one on 10-2.
Right.
And we have another 3900. Now, if I come over here, I started at the bottom. Let's see, which one was this? Okay. Let me open this one. My computer is slow. Please have some patience with me. Okay, here's an assault. That was on 9:30. And case number. Then we go to 3900 Las Vegas Boulevard, 10-1 at 4:17 in the morning. Case number. Next one, we're 10-1. Case number. And we can continue on here. Case number. Crime. This is Mandalay Bay.
No case number.
And no case number. The next one is shooting.
No case number.
No case number.
Wow.
Next one.
Didn't really
shooting.
Didn't really happen.
Shooting, stabbing, looking for shooters. No case number.
Mhm.
Next one is an assault. And this is still actually they do have a Tucson, Nevada tag here. And I'm wondering if there isn't something coded into that. But again, no case number. And we come over here. This is a burglary case number. And it's not in the same specific 3900. Assault again. And now 50, we can tell this is the event. Now 50 dead, 200 wounded. No case number. And then we come to this one, which is, there were only 5 entries that dealt with that. But the next one, case number.
That's a stolen motor vehicle, though.
Well, it seems to be related to, because it's got the address. See, these are close to, but not the address.
Okay.
The other one was, all the ones with the address have no case number. So I'm presuming they are and obviously they've been removed at this point. Only the one Mandalay Bay one remains. Now, they were on there when I looked this up. But again, burglary, case number. And other. Now this was in the same area, but it's an other disturbance, and it's at 11:41 a.m., which means way past the time of the event. Case number. And I got 2 more to show. Another other, and this isn't that address. Case number. And last one that I capped. This is other disturbance, but this is, again, almost noon on the 3rd.
Right.
Case number. So, we come back to here, and, I basically covered everything that I showed here. Or at least most of it. The shooting is showing up here, and the 5 are these 3, this assault, and this assault. They're all in the 3900 block, except this one says specifically Mandalay Bay. And they're all on the 2nd. And at this point, the only one that's showing up is this one that says Mandalay Bay. This one's gone, this one's gone, this one's gone, and this one's gone. They're not there. So at any rate, that's my portion of the presentation.
Good find.
And if I can find out, get over here. Okay, stop sharing, and I'm all good.
All right, awesome.
I'm not finished.
Go ahead, Rich.
So I kept looking, and so we could look at all of these things as we suspect or know that they're hoaxes or whatever. So I just to give you an idea. So I looked at Fort Lauderdale, and there was no case number with that. And the spot crime source was the Associated Press. I looked at the Burnett Chapel shooting, which is September 24th to 17, and this shooting isn't registered in the spot crime crime logs. I looked at the Kalamazoo shooting, and this has no case number. I did the LAX already, I did San Bernardino already. I looked at the Madison High School shooting in February 2016. And so on this particular case, it's a little bit different because the whole February blotter is missing, as well as March. So otherwise, you have everything else there. So I guess that's about it. That's about it. So this is a useful tool for us, you know.
I think it is indeed.
It's another indicator of what has been commonly referred to as fuckery.
Yeah. Scum.
Yep.
I like to say scum fuckery.
Yes.
Good job, Rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job, Rich. Absolutely. Thank you.
It's just the beginning, really. You know, I mean, I'm done with it, but I mean, it's just the beginning as far as like tracking this stuff down. It's a big project, and it would be great to, you know, get this stuff all cataloged, you know, this way. But it's a big project, too big for me.
Sounds like it's quite involved. You got to go look at all of the suspected BS and, you know, cross-reference it and all of that. There's been an awful lot of suspected BS.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm done. Thanks.
I want to read some of the Skype messages that I've been getting from Brian throughout the show. He's been just dumping all kinds of info in Skype. And Brian, as much as I love you, I'm not going to probably be able to get to all of it. Let's see here. Now, we talked about the tickets being sold on March 3rd. He's saying everyone is claiming that they were at Harvest. Ticket stubs, March 3rd, 10 a.m. With a little sarcasm there. March 3rd, Google it, the 91, Harvest 91, March 3rd. You'll see that it is sold out around June. Because no one claims it wasn't sold out prior to June. It may be scrubbed that it was. Says the Wayback Machine has June and prior to March. June Wayback shows sold out. Sold out not only VIP but all. And obviously there were real people there. Seems maybe some crisis actors who bought tickets quickly. Let me see here. I want to jump back up because this Maffey guy, I want to get to this. This is interesting shit right here, like really interesting shit. It's got to scroll up. Let me try to find the beginning here. Checked how tickets went. I covered that. He says, so anyone that was there had a ticket purchased prior to June and possibly earlier or March 3rd. The crazy shit is about to be written. I'll take, okay. By the way, you can, this will take some time, a couple of days or so, trust me. No, hang on. So all those witnesses coming out telling stories of second shooters, they purchased a ticket quickly. And Trust One News looks like he predicted them coming out, and he used their phony testimony on his Twitter. Why? And by the way, just for the record, I don't trust One News. Just for the record. That's just me.
I don't either.
So, because his phony connection to Liberty Media, for all I know, who is LM. Greg Maffey. Here we go. Now what you got to do for your show is Google Greg. Somebody Google Greg Maffey. Maffei. Greg Maffey. The tickets were purchased over Ticket Corner or Liberty Media. Same thing today, and probably not over TC, Ticket Corner. Just read Maffey's short bio on Wiki. Somebody do a search and look up Greg Maffey's bio on Wikipedia.
Got
I
it.
Want me to screen share this or what?
He says, and before you do, let me just read what Brian is dropping here. He said, Maffei, by the way, is a name that goes back to Florence and Venice. You remember what I said a minute ago or a few minutes ago when I was reading the Mandalay poem, and Brian said that goes back to Venice. He says, maybe Jewish banking. It was implicated at the time in the pizza conspiracy. Antonio Maffei, and now the kicker, as you seem to be starting, Maffei took over Formula One not so long ago. And Chase Carey, who is the Maffei underdog, is the new CEO of Formula One. He says, now wait for it. Formula One in Austin started today. And the race will be on Sunday. But that's not it. Wait for it. You know that paddock, you know what paddock is, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes into, you know, we've covered this. Paddock is a field. He says it's an enclosure for race horses. Okay, so if you look up the etymology of the word paddock, which a lot of us have done, and you know, I've mentioned this for the purpose of, you know, like esoteric symbolism. This was a harvest ritual, and paddock is a field, and a field is what you harvest at the end of the year. Paddock is an enclosure of race horses. Some say for sheep, but if you check, it's for race horses, and in parentheses he says elite race horses. And now check this, he says, there's a video called, quote, Inside the F1, that's Formula One, inside the Formula One paddock's motorhomes. Yup, because race horses are Formula One, and that's going on right now. You see, that's a warning, but this does not mean F1 will be the next Psyop. It may mean subliminal, because Ecclestone is a bit pissed that he's out, and the whole show may just mean mockery on the elite scale. So go ahead, Amy. You got Maffei there on Wikipedia. Read it to us.
Ian has it.
Well, this guy's a real high up here. Greg Maffei is an American businessman. He's the president and chief CEO of Liberty Media and the chairman of Live Nation Entertainment, SiriusXM, and TripAdvisor. He's
TripAdvisor?
Yeah, that's big.
SiriusXM?
Of Stars and Expedia, that's big too.
Chairman Emeritus of Stars?
Yeah, and the former chief financial officer of Oracle and Microsoft.
Holy shit, this guy is connected.
And look where he went to school. He went to Dartmouth and Harvard, of course. Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones. And Greg Maffei received, what is it? Whatever, from Dartmouth. Bachelor, master's degree, whatever.
Associate bachelor's, that's AB, right? Associate bachelor. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me. Is that what that is?
No,
I don't know. I've never heard of an AB degree.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, I don't know. This guy's a high up dude here. He's in the club. Liberty Media owns media, communications, and entertainment businesses, including subsidiaries Formula One, SiriusXM, and Atlanta Braves.
Oh, fuck.
An interest in Live Nation Entertainment, Liberty Interactive owns digital commerce businesses, including subsidiaries QVC, Zoli. I've never heard of these, but anyway. But yeah, Maffei is a member of the Board of Trustees of Dartmouth College and Council on Foreign Relations.
There you go.
Bing, bang, boom, right there.
Bing, bang, boom, right there. Ding, ding,
Yep.
The proof is in the pudding. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, holds controlling interest in TripAdvisor, Council on Foreign Relations. This guy is as connected as can be.
Skull and Bonesman, probably for sure.
I would say so.
All right. Yeah. Let me see, because he dropped some videos that I might want to share while we're on this subject here. Formula One is in Austin, started today. The race will be on Sunday.
Sunday is the 22nd.
You know what? Let me see. In the video, by the way, is 3 minutes and 3 minutes and 3 seconds long. Same days left after March 3rd. That's just a coincidence, I guess. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I want to screen share, and let's just check 1 or 2 of these videos just for fun. Let's see what we can dig up. And Henry, don't feel free to pipe up anytime if you got something to say.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Talking to me. Talking to me.
All right, so this is inside the F1 Paddocks motorhomes. It's 3 minutes long. I may not play the whole thing. I'm going to unmute, and let's just see what this video is about, because Brian wouldn't have sent it to me if it wasn't relevant. So let's see. Check this for a minute.
Jaw-dropping spectacles in Formula One after the racing, of course. This is where the teams live. You've got Ferrari there, you've got Mercedes behind me, and in what is a piece of fantastic understatement, they're referred to as motorhomes. In actual fact, they look like miniature skyscrapers, and the skyline stretches out for almost half a kilometre. This is where the teams, the beautiful people, and some of the captains of motorsport mingle. Let's go and take a closer look at some of them. One of the most impressive structures in the paddock, and undoubtedly the biggest, is the Red Bull Energy Station.
Did you hear what he said? One of the most impressive structures in the paddock.
I heard.
Follow me, we've managed to get inside. We've got Red Bull over here, and then you've got Toro Rosso on this side. This is for the engineers, designers, team bosses, and even drivers. And there's an office behind each of these areas. You've got a lovely bar. Seating area on the side. How's it going? You're looking good. How's the hospitality?
Superb. Fantastic.
Fantastic. Smells just right. Then down here, thank you. Is that as good as it looks?
It's wonderful.
It's ridiculous. We've got the outdoor seating area. You're good? Right, got to keep your eyes open here. There's no shortage of ex-drivers and A-listers. Jackie Stewart over there, suitably bedecked in tartan. You've got all of the big trucks on this side of the paddock. These deliver the cars to the pits with all of their spare parts. You've got media hunting in packs, looking for salacious quotes or pearls of wisdom. This is Williams. Nice bit of security glass. Looks like a luxury department store. Got Renault over here. It's got that mega yacht feel to it. Force India. Looks like a cross between a battleship and an aircraft control tower. And then Toro Rosso. Right in the middle of the paddock road here, and very fittingly, this is Pirelli's motorhome. Neutral territory, if you like. Beyond that, we've got Sauber, very Oscar Niemeyer inspired. You know, the Brazilian architect who built Brasilia, capital city. And then beyond that, the shining edifice of the McLaren monolith. Looks like something out of Space Odyssey 2001. Definitely one of the most intimidating structures here in the paddock. Well,
how many times is he going to say paddock?
Of the paddock.
I know.
He just said it again.
Formula One. The most incredible fact for me,
11?
if it needs to be, all of this can be broken down and rebuilt in another city in less than 3 days, creating one of the world's most glamorous miniature cities.
Okay, I'm going to jump back over to Skype. I want to undo my screen share real quick because I don't necessarily want the entire conversation. Which window do I want? What am I doing here? Here we go. Sorry. Give me just a second. I want to find another window. He dropped a few videos in here for me to check out. Ellen DeGeneres gambling machines. You guys know about that, right? Ellen is heavily connected with MGM. She's got her own slots.
Yep. I think we already covered that, and the fact that she did a commercial for her damn machines.
Yeah, yeah.
Right in the middle of an interview with Jesus Campos.
Yeah. So now, as I try to scroll, Skype is like scrolling super slow motion. And I'm sorry to have to drag this out. Okay, covered that. Ticket sales. Okay, let me jump back up. And by the way, just for the record, just because Amy and Ian, I know you guys are interested. Brian has been having a lot of trouble. Obviously, he had his channel deleted. He said he's even had trouble with his Skype.
Wow, a lot of people are saying they're having trouble with their Skype.
He said he had to give them their phone, his phone or phone number to even know that they deleted. And right now my Skype is acting all kind of wishy-washy. It won't scroll and it's doing its own thing, like it's got a mind of its own right now. Of course. When I need it the most is when it wants to freaking act up. All right.
May we?
So now I'm gonna try to reopen it. All right. Now, no. Wow, it's like slow to react. This is weird. I've never had Skype do this to me. So anyway, he said he had trouble with his YouTube channel, trying to get it. He had to give his phone number out to get any kind of access. Same thing with Skype, had to give his phone number out.
I tell you, that makes me a little nervous because, you know, I don't have a phone to give out. So if I ever have problems, I may be kind of screwed.
Okay, so can you guys hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because Amy, you got really scratchy, and my computer
Yeah, I can hear you.
is glitching a little bit. All right. So, Henry, you want to add anything while I try to get my computer working properly?
I don't know.
This guy in the chat here, Red Dog Truth 2, he says, if only I lived in California, I would be hunting down blank blank. I don't want to say either of those names on our show.
Yes.
Oh.
The Michael person.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, he lives over here?
He lives in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't mention his name. We don't mention his name on this show.
Nope.
Doesn't get the benefit of having his name.
Yes.
Oh, I see red dogs here, huh?
Red Dog Truth 2.
That's just an odd comment.
Yeah, well, you gotta, you know, I don't know. I'm probably gonna let that one go. Yeah, I probably should just let that one go.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brian says, if you Google Acosta and Las Vegas, you will get a lot, because Maffei is related to Acosta by way of the old days of Venice, which goes back to the Mandalay poem. He says, indeed, he is an Acosta. They are Jews, banking and art, of course, flotilla. Paddock Formula One, which is going on now today in Austin, actually, and which belongs to Maffei. He says,
amazing.
He says this guy Manuel DaCosta is Maffei's distant relative. He says for me to take my time and read the above messages. He left me a lot. I've really just. It's really hard for me to have to read this and check this and go back and forth on pages and do a show and have guests and engage in conversation. It's just too tasking on the brain. And again, right at the very moment, my Skype is just acting like it's working its way through, you know, cold syrup.
Oh, jeez. Mark's in the chat, Global Agenda.
Mark, buddy.
Yeah, I dropped the link. I dropped his channel link in the box.
Hey, dude. How's it going?
Okay, so Brian says, because Ecclestone, the former longtime owner of F1, Formula One, is mocking the U.S. F1, Alex Jones hated Ecclestone. Look it up. And because they say that NASCAR is the U.S.'s car love or whatever, some guy talking about Maffey's adventure in Austin is saying it could become a real car crash, in quotations, for Maffey's Liberty Media. Now, let me read that sentence again. Car crash is in quotations, and I'll read that sentence again. Some guy talking about Maffey's adventure in Austin saying it could become a real car crash for Maffey's Liberty Media. I know. This is another rabbit. This is why I like Brian, because he always finds the rabbit hole nobody else finds.
Yes. You heard me point out that Sunday is the 22nd, right? 22.
Monday's the 22nd. Okay, everybody, keep your eyes on
Sunday.
Oh.
Of the race.
Oh yeah, that's
It's a Harvest Sunday.
Yep.
Good catch, Amy.
Thank you.
Let me, oh, holy shit. He says, I don't know if this video will show. I don't know if it's a video. It may not be a video. I'll open it in a second. He says, Acosta Maffey history is Jesuit as fuck. So I'm going to screen share again and just see what this is. And Brian, we love you to death and thank you for what you're doing here. I appreciate it a lot. So let me see if this will open. Google Books. DaCosta. The first of the Jesuit histories dealing with. Am I sharing right now? By the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
Okay. The first of the Jesuit histories dealing with Japan, that of DaCosta Maffey, appeared even before the arrival of the mission in Europe. In Maffey's Historiam Indicarum, there's a little mouse there. That's Latin. Historiam Indicarum Libri, Florence, 1588, which was published shortly after the Japanese legates left Europe. The Japanese, I wonder if that's a typo. Delegates, it says legates. I wonder if that's Japanese delegates left Europe. It is book 12, which is mainly concerned with Japan. This account and the other references to Japan scattered throughout the book is heavily indebted to Valignano's Historia, Maffey. Valignanos, thank you. Treats Japan in two ways. He provides a general description, blah, 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 blah. I'll have to open up that whole page. Here, page 686. At the suggestion of Maffey, who was then busy with his own archival research in Europe for his history of Jesuit enterprise in the East, Frois, F-R-O''is, Frois was
sort of like potato foie.
Where's Cerebra Sana when you need her?
Yeah, really. Cerebra, here. We need you now.
Okay, so the point is that this guy may be Jesuit connected.
I would say that I would give that, based on this data, about a 98% probability.
Maffei is not uncritical sinophile. While he praises certain attributes of the Chinese, he unqualifiedly judges that their skills and vices by far exceed their virtues. What a shitty thing to say. He points critically to their superstitious practices, inhumane tortures, excessive preoccupation with pleasures of the flesh. You know, those Japanese, like the Portuguese authors, he consistent of Emperor of China, ridiculously arrogant when he thinks of himself as master of the world and son of heaven. Oh, gee, where have we heard that? The first author to use the Jesuit letters extensively, as well as many secular sources, was Maffei, whose Historiam Indicarum Libri, that would be 16, appeared at Florence in 1588. Scattered sections, various parts of Southeast Asia. Maffei indicates more of the Jesuit letters than he does when commenting on India. Interesting stuff. Thank you, Brian. This is a rabbit hole I don't even think I want to poke my head into. This will keep you busy for weeks.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, really.
Here we go. Castaneda, Fitch, and Maffei exhibit considerable knowledge about the importance of the Buddhist monks in Burma. Back to the Mandalay poem reading by Boris Johnson. Fucking hell. I mean, everything is so connected. This is crazy.
Yep.
Everything is connected.
Wow. And so let me just scroll back up. What book exactly is this? Maffei Burma. This is Google search on Maffei Burma. See that there? And this is the link that Brian had sent me here. And the book is
Asia in the Making of Europe, Volume 1, The Century of Discovery.
Wow. Huh. Damn, Brian, I don't know how you find that shit, but good on you.
Absolutely.
So, Henry, I really want to ask you more about these people that you know. And can you tell us anything else about them? Anything? I mean, I know you said that you've inquired and you've rubbed some people the wrong way and ruffled feathers, but I mean, anything, because I'm dying to know. Because look, I got a list of people here. And I'm not going to read them out because I was supposed to, Amy had asked me to do this earlier. I got a list of 7 or 8 YouTubers, some of them are big channels, that are saying similar things that you are saying, that they know people that were there. And where did my page go?
Yeah.
Here we go. YouTubers affected by Vegas. I got a whole page on this shit.
YouTube affected by Vegas.
Truth Media Films. Isn't that Red Pill? Isn't that Red Pill Revolution?
He changed his name.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Okay. Truth Media Films says his nephews. Oh, and by the way, he's got 135,000 subs. So this is a good size channel.
He used to be on that.
So he says his nephew's girlfriend's stepdad was shot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
See, this is the thing that bothers me about, truther channels that say things like this. It's like, okay, it's not like you were there. It's not like your girlfriend was there. It's not like your mom, your neighbor, your friend. This is second, third, fourth, fifth hand testimony.
Yep.
This shit.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, so like the people that said that they were there said that they didn't see anything. That's what they said.
Almost sounds like they told not to say anything.
They said that they didn't see any gunshots. No one got a bullet hole in them. None of that. The only thing that one person, a good friend of mine that I went to junior high and high school with, and she said that she didn't see anything. That's what I'm saying.
But there was an injury.
And there was an injury, yeah. See, but there was injuries. So the other people said that they were trampling. They're 100% like they are in the hospital. They were in the hospital. And one of my
what was the injury exactly? Do you know?
I don't know. I didn't ask that far. She said that she was trampled. She was crying. I think I said in the video, she was the girl I was talking to that lived there for 10 years. She said she was crying. Her friends were there, and that's what happened. And another
so the person that was actually injured, what connection do you have? Is it a friend of a friend?
Yeah, it's her friends. She showed me the pictures off that hard drive I recovered for her off that laptop. So she lived in Vegas for 10 years. That laptop that I went through, she had that laptop there in Vegas while she lived there, and I recovered all her pictures from it. And she pulled like the pictures right off the hard drive when I gave it to her, the flash drive.
Oh, this is your client's. Yeah, this is your client's laptop.
Yeah. So she said that. She said, but I asked her, like, was anyone shot? She goes, no, they were the one. They just got trampled. And then another good friend, which is not really a good friend, it's like a family member, that said that his friend was shot. And I was like, well, could tell me who is it? You know what I mean? But nothing. And that's like at least a handful that told me that. But it's weird because, like, when I broke down the parachuting, people said that, oh, I was there at the parachuting, my friend's friend, and it's the same thing. It's never any proof. That's why on my channel, I would never tell you guys, like, oh, it's 100% proof. So-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so, and so-and-so told me. No, I cannot do that. So, but if you want me to keep digging, I will.
Well, of course we do, and we're not the only ones, and you know it.
Yeah.
All right. So look, Amy had mentioned a channel called CFAPS. That's CFAPPS, and the number associated. It's CFAPS 7865 is the channel. Now this is a guy who's not really conspiracy minded per se, except for maybe like ancient human history, because most of what he lives in Vegas. Most of what he does is he makes breakdown videos of like ancient Egypt and ancient monoliths and megaliths, and that's pretty much what he does. That's his main focus. But he also mixes in on his channel, because it is his personal channel, he mixes in a lot of videos where he goes out to see like local live music. Okay, so there's live music videos mixed in with his analysis of ancient megalithic structures and shit like that. Okay, so CFAP 7865 lives in Vegas. He was on the Strip that night. He says he was actually there on the Strip. He was filming people in it's Harrah's, by the way, Amy. You couldn't remember the hotel. He was in Harrah's. Right. He was in Harrah's, and he has a video where he is on the floor and everybody else is under the freaking gambling tables, the blackjack tables. Because apparently they were, yelled at and told to get down because there's, I don't know, an active shooter or whatever they were doing, drill or whatever. But they scared everybody in Harrah's. That's another hotel we haven't even mentioned. Also we've got, I mentioned Sean from SGT. He says his wife's best friend, Val, knows somebody.
Well, from anyone else, it'd be,
So Sean's wife's best friend knows somebody. Okay, fourth hand account. I'm sorry, I'm not going for that. Trust One News. Here we go. Trust One News says, quote, "I do know people that were actually there."
And that's it.
That's all I got. That's all I got for Trust One.
But the Trust One News said it was real, though. Is that what he's saying? Like people got killed?
Yeah, he's in that camp.
I haven't been following.
There's definitely that camp, a very respectable camp that thinks that there was really shootings and
well, that's why I mentioned it earlier in the show, because it's there's quite a lot of people out there saying that it's mixed with real and a psyop together.
Are you guys familiar? I know Amy and Ian probably is, but are you guys familiar with the channel known as Truth Factory?
No. little kitty cat that narrates.
Yeah, she's got this little gray kitty cat. It's an animated cat, and she narrates and she breaks down a lot of stuff. And she's usually a good researcher, but she's like Grindall. You know, she's really good at what she does, but she's not full blown. You know, big spectrum conspiracy, and
she hasn't gone down the rabbit hole deep enough.
Right. So she says her friend's cousin. She says her friend's cousin was there, and then in the comments under her video, a commenter by the name of Morning Flower J. Foster, I think that's the whole name there. She says her niece. And I got a name here. Thank God for notes, right? Rachel Parker. There's one for you guys to look up. So keep your eye out for Rachel Parker as
another Parker.
Oh, another Parker. Good one, Ian. That's right.
Yeah, really.
Parkers are we going to get? They just never seem to go away.
In the family.
Oh, wait.
And we know that Parker is 33, right?
Yeah, it says month anniversary coming up.
Month anniversary.
Oh my God, you guys. Oh, fuck.
Parker has got all kinds of numbers skewing about it.
It's 33, yeah.
Okay,
30, 33, 42,
Robbie Parker. Robbie, who can forget Robbie
66,
Parker?
69, 93.
I got one more on my list, and he happens to be also on the panel, and he also happens to be my cohort, Mr. Ian. Mr. Gemini MC69 says that he has a coworker that either knows somebody or was there. Ian, tell us what you know.
Yeah, it didn't turn out to be quite like I thought. It was just they got injured or something, and they were down there.
Okay, so they were probably, skinned their knee. They got trampled.
Yeah, they were involved in there, and they're freaked out. They were injured in the hospital, so that lady flew down there.
They went to the hospital?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I just heard that he just was injured from running out of there or something. And there was also some newscaster here on the island that said he was involved in that too. But
what island is that?
Vancouver Island.
Oh, okay.
Some Czech news reporter guy who said he was there too and or his son was there or something. But
I would like to see somebody come forward and say, "Hey, I was there. I was there."
Look, it's probably important to mention Paddock's father. You guys are familiar. I assume, Henry, you've at least looked deep enough. You're familiar with Paddock's father?
No, I actually didn't even look at that.
Really?
What's
Paddock's father is a prison-serving convicted bank robber.
Wow.
And
Yes.
and I'm gonna pull up a screenshot in just a moment. You got to see this guy. Amy, do that while I'm talking, please. This fucking guy. Just do a search for Stephen Paddock's father image. You know the one I'm looking for, right? This guy.
I think so.
He looks like a cross between Anton LaVey and Michael Aquino.
wow.
He's bald. He's got this weird fucking face hair. He's wearing a fucking shirt in his picture where the shirt's covered with the fleur de lis, which is the French Freemasonry symbol. And by the way, it's a much older symbol than that.
You want me to screen share this?
Please, honey. Yes. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen or if you don't know about this guy's father, you need to people need to understand that this guy is fucking connected. There he is.
I got it. It's up.
He looks like a Lester Crawley looking kind of.
Scroll down, Amy. Find the one where he's wearing that shirt with the glasses. He's wearing glasses and a fleur de lis shirt. You'll find it. Just keep scrolling. It's in there somewhere.
Maybe I should go to Google.
There it is. There it is. There it
Duck.
is. Right there. Center screen.
Ah, right here.
Look at this fucking character. This guy looks like a cross between Michael Aquino and Anton LaVey.
Yeah, he does.
This guy is a convicted armed robber, served time in prison for bank robbery. In fact, the interview that his brother gave, one of the interviews, he even says, talking about his mom, he says her husband, meaning his dad, was a bank robber, was a fucking armed robber.
That's crazy.
Do you need my screen still sharing? Or have we gotten enough of this guy?
Yeah, there it is. Thank you. That'll do. As long as everybody knows, that's what we're here for, is to share and show.
Yep.
Show and tell is what this. We should rename the show called Show and Tell. Anyway,
the dad looks like him more. The brother, Paddock's brother, looks like he takes after his brother, or he looks like more like his the other brother looks like more of his dad.
All right, I'm going to end the share.
Okay.
Okay. So, oh yeah, one of the notes that I had that I hadn't said anything about, the LVPD, which is the Las Vegas Police Department, is requesting that all citizens. This is early on, by the way. This is like the day of or the day after.
Yeah.
Requesting all citizens leave all videos with them.
Yeah.
And then some of you may have heard the stories that people get their phones and their laptops back and they're wiped clean, right? You've heard that shit.
Yep.
Wow.
I wonder if
The police also said something like, if you see something, say something. They didn't say see something, but they said something else. It was so similar to that.
There's something else that I need to point out that's probably important to mention. Some of you may have seen this, that what was it, 4 days? 4 days before the event, that Fox tweeted out the event, tweeted out breaking news or something like that. Have you guys seen that shit? The 2 or 3 days before?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a screen cap of somebody showing that. And
Okay. Do you know that that's fake?
I thought maybe it might be.
Okay, that's fake. I just want to let everybody know that that shit is fake.
Okay.
In fact, there's a video out that shows, it's an old lady. It's funny because the YouTuber is this old lady, and her excuse me, her grandson or her nephew or somebody helped her out and showed her. He said, "Look, Grandma, you can actually change the date on a Google search and then screen cap and then make a video showing the screen cap. But what you cannot do is go and do a search and find it in reality. But you can actually, there's a way to do it. There's a video that shows how to do it. So if you pull up a Google search on any search topic, you can actually go in and change the date and show, it makes it look like it was produced days or weeks ahead of time. You can change the date.
Right.
You can totally change the fucking date.
Weird. I wonder why it's set up
Actually,
that way.
the Kafka Winston World actually mirrored that video that shows how to do that. So if anybody interested, go to Kafka's channel and you might find it. Because I don't remember the old lady that originally showed how to do it. But just want to let everybody know that the story's going around that Fox News and CNN were producing and broadcasting and producing articles, days ahead of time. That shit is fake, okay? It's just not real. So I hate it, man. This fucking sea of disinformation pisses me off.
Yes.
The waters are so muddy, it's just.
Did you guys see the video of I saw it on Outer Light. I think he may have got it from somewhere else as well, but it was about the award that Jesus Campos got. The picture of him.
The award,
yes.
Oh, the steakhouse was remodeled. That's right. We didn't get to that.
Yeah. Oh, that's juicy. Get to it. Yeah. So you know the story already, right?
I know the story, but go ahead, Rich. You got the floor.
Okay, so he's did some pretty nice detective work. I'm not sure if he did it or not. His name is what? Ed. So so they have pictures of the wallpaper and chandelier. He points those out from the before the renovation, which was in July. And I think the renovation started in July, and that's when the picture of the award was being given to Jesus Compost, right? And also there was some what do you call it? The fixing the picture. What do you call that program?
Photoshopping.
Photoshop. Yes, thank you. They're photoshopping on the on the photo, and
Yes.
his theory was that they photoshopped the date out, the date which would have been previous to, you know.
Right.
Exactly.
Like maybe he just got an award for Employee of the Year or something back then. Yep.
Or maybe Spook of the Year. That's what he looks like to me. So, you know, so.
Yeah, there you go.
But anyway, that's a juicy piece of information. Looks pretty convincing.
Well, that whole fucking story is just as crazy as can be. They changed the timelines 3 different times. They couldn't figure out, they couldn't tell us what he was shot before Paddock started his barrage. He was shot 6 minutes after.
No, they changed the story.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
trust
it's such a
us.
mess.
Trust us. Don't trust anyone else. Just trust us. Oh yeah, and you've already changed the story 3 times. Right.
Yeah, and they actually just changed the story today. Did you guys see that?
No.
They changed it again
No, what did
today.
now what's the story?
Now I know even CNN is saying they changed the timeline again. It even says it on their own website, and it says that now that they went from, you know how when the security guard got shot, it was 6 minutes and then Paddock started firing.
Right.
Now it says that in 40 seconds, right after he shot the security guard, he started shooting outside the window. Now that's the new timeline. Yeah,
I think
I'm glad they know. We'll never know, will we?
The next timeline would be got the security guard after he shot himself.
Yeah, I'll share it with you guys right here real quick.
You guys do realize that if this was a real event, that none of this information would come out at all, because it would be an ongoing investigation and they would fuck up the legal case.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me is go ahead, Henry. We got you right there.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep talking. I'm just messing with you.
Go ahead.
What you got there?
So yeah, right here. So the next thing too they did was today was they did they put a lid on the case now. So
now they're
Las
doing
Vegas,
that.
they're doing a lid, everybody. The story is blown out of the water. You guys know we love to blow the story out of the water. So right here, Las Vegas mass shooting suite must be preserved for court orders now. So it's still intact, folks. We can probably go there and see, you know, what really went down, right? So, but now they said a court has been ruled the luxury suite has used by Las Vegas gunmen who carried out October 1st attack is to be preserved along with photos, surveillance videos, gambling records, and anything else pertaining to the atrocity. That's it. They put a lid on this whole thing.
I love the emotional tweaky words. The atrocity.
Yeah.
Not the event. Not the shooting. The atrocity.
Trigger words. Yeah.
Yep. Emotional trigger words.
Yep.
Well, I just wanted to give a shout out to some people in the chat for being here tonight. XXYY, Greatest Potential, holla. Zach Hawkins, thanks again. Illusion Shattered, love you guys. From Life to Death 5. Blue Blood.
Who's that?
Bobby Simpson, We Are Free. Thanks, guys. Blue Blood.
Global Agenda.
Global Agenda came by.
Yep.
Baron Von Taco Cat, thanks for being here again. Taco Cat.
The Big P managed to make it.
We had Sandra T earlier, and couple other regulars. So.
Oh,
Yep.
and before I forget, just want to make an announcement. Next week we have Jerry Cthulhu and Niche from the channel Vox Nocte, which is their new YouTube channel. They do a show where they interview people on dreams and dreaming, and it's called Nox Mente, which is Night Mind. And Jerry and Niche are brilliant. We've had Jerry on before. Jerry is a wealth of information on all kinds of subjects, and Niche is just a brilliant young lady who is just a pleasure to talk to. So next week is going to be a good show. I want to make that announcement. And Henry, thank you for being here. Rich, thank you for coming back. And we love everybody. We love you all.
One more thing before you sign off, okay? I want to add one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead, bud.
So there's a couple of things I would like to see that maybe people in out there would know. Well, one is I'd like to know how many shots there were altogether to see, because it is a finite amount, right? So to see
exactly, that's a good point.
And so
from all the videos, somebody should be able to stitch together every shot fired.
I think they have.
Yeah, and see if there's even enough shots to shoot 600 people, right?
Or to account for the 600 or 900 shots that they said he fired.
Okay, right. Well, we know that 200 were fired down the hallway, so you can subtract those from those that killed.
We know that's bullshit too. 200?
Okay,
come on, that's overkill, right?
And here's the other thing.
He would have had to reload 2 or 3 times for that, because you get a 75-round mag. Henry, do they make a 100-round mag?
Yeah, the one they showed, I kind of messed up on my video. I kind of stand corrected because it's double stack. So some magazines will have single stack, meaning the rounds sit right on top of each other. But if they're double stacked, they sit side by side, and that spring is able to push them up and feed it through. But the ones they showed on there, it could be anywhere from 60 to 70 rounds, but they do have 100-round mags that just clip right underneath. Okay. But he was shooting way beyond that anyways, with that cranking sound. Remember how he was like cranking the bullets out? That's more like a cranking, like a not really like a trigger pull or holding the gun down with the fully automatic. It was more like a cranking noise.
And from all the photos, which we've only gotten 1 or 2 pictures from the hotel room, the crime scene. Mm-hmm. Has anybody seen any barrel magazines? Anything larger than a 30-round mag?
Nope.
Are there any of those visible in any of the crime photos?
Okay,
none of them.
That's a good point too, because I haven't seen any of those barrel mags in the crime photos.
No,
yeah, and the guys talked about
shell casings, isn't there?
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so the other thing I would like to see is for somebody to go over there and see if there must be a lot of bullet damage in the concrete or the
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, what we ought to do is contact CFAPs, but you know what? I'm pretty sure that whole area is cordoned off indefinitely.
Yeah, it is.
Probably, yeah.
That probably does it.
Can I just want to mention, if we haven't mentioned before, C-Space was here, and we also have Learn of the Jesuit Order in the house.
The Jesuit Order was in the house. Cool.
Big P, Big P99 was here too.
Yep, I mentioned Big P. And
XXYY was here.
Illusion Shattered.
I'm not sure, but I think we had a couple of new faces. Sandra Textiera was in here, if we haven't mentioned. Love Sandra. She's always Baron von Techhout or
Taco Cat.
Taco Cat. Taco.
Yeah, we got them all. Thanks, everybody.
Is in a taco. The thing you
so
eat.
where can? Okay, so Henry, do you have a website or anything that people can go and see?
Yeah, you're working on a website. You want to plug your website or something?
Yeah, I think it's ucensored2.com, and then it's not up yet. It's still getting worked on. I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
And then it's yourtube.tv or something like that, or youtube.tv. So it's coming out. It's getting ready to rock and roll. So definitely.
Cool.
Yeah, and I would love to be on. I would love to be a regular on here if you guys want me.
Yeah, for sure. We'd love to have you back again. Yeah.
You're welcome back anytime, brother.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. And Rich, thanks again.
Absolutely. Thank you so
You
much.
wanna tell us where people can find you on YouTube?
Rich Vanclaren. But Rich Vanclaren, but I'm pretty close to retiring, I think. So.
Retiring from YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't blame you, man. It's a sea of shit out here.
Yeah, really.
I'm gonna shift over to Henry's channel someday when he gets into it.
All right. Well, I'm glad Mark was able to make it. Allison Twist, Sandra, and everybody, we love you all. Illusion Shattered. And if you weren't mentioned, it doesn't mean we don't love you. So
absolutely,
we appreciate it. We appreciate all the info. We appreciate the engagement. And Ian, whenever you're ready, you take us out, and we will see you guys next week. Take care, everybody.
Love always.
Love always.
Love you guys. Thanks again.
Thank you.